I'm Yoshi Lomax, superstar attorney at law and fugitive.
So, you're the famous Yoshi Lomax.
Probably more infamous. I'm on the run from the federal government for crimes that I didn't commit.
Gentlemen, I'm Deputy U.S. Marshal Sharon Starr. I'll be taking things from here.
Not to mention being on the hit list of at least 3 of Miami's major crime bosses.
I wanted to apologize in person for leaving so abruptly last night.
Welcome back.
That's Vladimir Kuzetsov, a Russian crime boss. He's been a suspect in over a dozen missing person cases.
I mean, I didn't get here to be this successful for doing things the American way.
I need a list of the jury for my case with Hanshu.
Oh, really? What's that worth to you? Oh, my God, you're such a good...
Mr. Santana is to be released upon processing.
So what do you know about Sheldon Chisholm?
What do you want to know about him?
I really need to know if you're going to take my case. I don't have time to play, Miss Lomax.
Money is not a problem. You know anything about his case?
It's being handled by agents in my field office.
I've learned that in this game of life, in order to win,
Ready to dance?
you gotta play dirty. You might look at me and see a beautiful, confident, successful woman.
Congratulations, counselor. Yet another win.
But underneath, I'm flawed. I'm broken. And I'm scared. So I have no choice but to run until I can find a way to clear my name.
Miss Lomax is now considered a fugitive of the United States. Catching fugitives is my business, which makes her my suspect. You and your associates are relieved.
Look. She killed one of our own.
But I will not give up.
All right, people, listen up. Get a picture of Miss Lomax out there so the public knows what she looks like.
I will not give in.
Okay. People, we got a game plan. Let's break and execute.
I will not get caught.
Time to go hunt.
Real talk.
Hey, I'm Gina Lou, and you're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Hey, what's up? It's Logan Browning, and you're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Real talk.
Hi, this is Alana De La Garza, and you're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Hi, I'm Diane Franklin from Better Off Dead and Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures. You're listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
Hi, this is Monique Capri, and you are watching Real Talk with the Director on Blog Talk Radio.
Hey, I'm Stormy Maya, and you are listening to Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
This is Vicky Judy, Orange is the New Black, and I'm here with Real Talk.
Yo, what up? This is Jay Ellis, and you're watching Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio. Keep it live.
Hi, I'm Frida Parks. You are listening to Real Talk Radio with the Director. Hey, I'm Issa Rae, and you're watching Real Talk with the Director on Dollhouse Radio.
All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
And nothing less. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of Real Talk with the Director and the Jedi Council. I'm the Director. And we will be with you for the next 120 minutes or so. And Real Talk is brought to you every Monday by B2S Media. B2S Media. We broadcast live via the World Wide Web on YouTube.com/IE Network TV on the IE Network, Twitter via Periscope, and the social network itself, Facebook. Plus, there's a couple other ones in there, LinkedIn, a few others, Twitch. So, anyway, thanks again for joining us. We appreciate you. Cool show coming up. We're going to talk about all of this nonsense that's been going on with Disney. Disney versus the Black Widow herself. Scarlett Johansson has, as we know, has filed a lawsuit versus the media giant Disney company, the Walt Disney Company, because for breach of contract in regards to the long anticipated and long overdue, in my opinion, Black Widow movie that they also, in my opinion, failed to, do adequate marketing for it. That's the first thing. It took forever. I hardly saw any commercials for it. Once they started pushing it back and stuff like that, and the pandemic hit, I hardly saw no commercials for that thing. The best marketing that they did was actually on Disney Plus, which actually brings us to the point of the lawsuit. So she's filing the lawsuit for breach of contract because she was a producer on that movie, and she basically lost out on a lot of money based on back end money and box office and bonuses you may get based on how it does in the theaters. As we know, we have been experiencing, and we still are experiencing, a global pandemic, COVID-19, and we so everyone's not fully back to the theaters. The theaters are doing something, but really, so long story short, we all know Black Widow performed moderately at best, and it was, compared to all the other Marvel films, obviously is considered a box office flop. But we all know because of the pandemic and all that. But the bottom line is this. Fast forward, so Disney, during the middle of the pandemic last year, decided that they were going to release this film in the theaters as expected, but also on Disney Plus for an additional fee of $30, $29.99. And that's what happened. So the Disney Plus, they made somewhere in the high 60 million, somewhere north of 60 million, maybe probably higher than that now, off of that. And the box office made what it made. And yeah, so bottom line is they did not cut Scarlett in on that that money, that streaming money. And there you have it. She is now suing for breach of contract and actually kind of opening the floodgates for other people to kind of come in and do the same thing, because you got Jungle Cruiser just came out. We'll see how that does in the theaters. So Emily Blunt is attached to that, obviously. And you also Cruella that came out in the theaters and on Disney Plus for the extended fee. So Emma Stone involved in that. So we're hearing and seeing and reading reports of all types of angry people about this money. Here's the deal, though. What we want to talk about tonight is, first of all, where do we see this going? And not only that, how is this going to affect and or change future deal making when it comes to paying your actors for films, right? And box office, especially your big actors. Normally, paying your regular actors, more so your filmmakers and like the producers and the big name actors that are the draw. Normally, actors usually just get paid a fee, and that's that, a salary. Just for the people who may or may not know, not every actor gets back in money. As a matter of fact, it's more rare that they get back in money than it's not. So, but when you're someone like Scarlett Johansson, who's been part of the MCU almost since it started, for the most part, couple of movies out, but she's a producer, in the film, and she's just been around doing this whole thing for a while. So she's definitely going to take in some back end money. That probably didn't really happen because of that. So I'll read some statements when I get my Jedi Council on. A couple of statements for, because what happened was Disney fired back with their counter little statement in the news about her lawsuit, which she didn't really say. She never went into detail. She just said they're suing them for breach of contract. Everyone knew why they were suing. So Disney fires back at her and attacks her character, brings it and tried to make it a moral situation, saying that it was a very crass, this whole thing with that she was putting together. The lawsuit is just at bad time, and it's a big disregard. And I'm paraphrasing. It's a disregard for the respect of the victims of COVID-19, and whatever. It's a big disregard of the fact that we had a global pandemic, which really had nothing to do with her lawsuit. And her agency fired back at Disney, which rightfully so. They did the right thing. And I'll read those comments in a moment. Also today, I had to kind of add this on a little bit later, but I'm going to come up with a list of my own as well. Rolling Stone put out an article a couple days ago, or the other day, or today. I don't know when it was. It was July 30th. It was yesterday or whatever, a couple days ago. So in light of MTV turning 40, MTV is, music television is 40 years old. And in light of that, or in honor of that, Rolling Stone decides to put out a top 100 greatest music videos list. And boy, oh boy, some of the stuff on here I agree with. But I mean, hey, you can't get them all wrong, right? It's 100 videos that they put on here. But I mean, this list, whoever put this list together, and there's several people at this list. It's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's about a dozen people that contributed to this article. And I really like to see, I want to say see their birth certificates. I'd like to see all their driver's licenses, just to see how old these people actually are that put this list together. Now, I'm not going to turn this into a bash the young generation rant. But you would hope out of these people, the people who put this list together, you would hope that if you're doing it in honor of 40 years of MTV, music television, you would hope that some of the people that's on this, that helped put this committee together, is at least 40 years old. That's what you would hope. Not all of them. You could get young, have a mixture. Some of the young cats, because, MTV is still around, but it's not what it used to be. I think it's fair to say that. It's no longer music television like it used to be, because, it's been stocked with reality shows and series and comedy shows and things like that, Wilding Out, blah, blah, blah. So it's no longer what it used to be. It's evolved, right? And that's fine. You can have, if you're going to have a group of people, a committee of people, it should be a mixture. And I'm sorry, a good portion of it should be people who were actually around when those videos came out. Because how can you truly judge a video? Well, you could judge it. Don't get me wrong. You could just go back and watch it on YouTube. But that's never going to match the feeling when it actually came out and you got a chance to experience the impact, the actual cultural impact of the videos. I'm sorry, there is no replacing that. You can sit here all you want and watch all the YouTube you want, but guess what? If you wasn't there when it happened, you're missing a little something. It doesn't disregard what you say, but you're missing a little something. You had to be there for that impact. And the bottom line is, I'll run down. I'm not gonna run down all 100, obviously. I'll run down their top 10, and their top 10 is preposterous in my opinion. Not preposterous. They have some things in there that I don't know if they'd make my top 10, but it definitely would be in my top 20. One or two of them in there is just ridiculous. But the fact that I'm just going to go ahead and spoil it for y'all right now, because this list really should be invalid because of the fact that there is no Michael Jackson's Thriller on this list at all. Not at all. Out of 100 videos, Michael Jackson's Thriller is not on this list. It really should be invalid. And I think all of these people who came together and wrote this list, I don't know if they deserve to be, writing for Rolling Stone magazine. But that's just my opinion. No knock. I mean, it's hard to say no knock on them, but it is what it is. I have to believe that most of these people are probably not even 40. They're probably under 30. Maybe in their 30s, a little bit under. We'll see. We'll go over it and check it out. But we appreciate you being here. Shout out to the chat room. Everyone who comes through every week and hold us down. Joseph Tanner is our most loyal. Peace, 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 my brother. And we have some other people that came through. We appreciate you, man. If it's your first time visiting, we appreciate you. Welcome. Please like and subscribe. And more importantly, share the video with your friends. And we appreciate you. And come back. We always have informative stuff going on. We're about to set up another we got some things coming up this month and the month after. I'm trying to set up the show now for the 30th anniversary of The Last American Virgin. Was it 30th or 35th? But anyway, it's over 30 years. We're getting that up. We're going to be going to, some more educational experiences for everyone. Last week we had a great show about stunts and the importance of having a stunt performer on your project. We're going to do more of those and do the importance of having a production designer and a set dresser and the importance of all of these things. So stay tuned, stay with us. Shout out to Raven. Appreciate you, classmate of mine. Full Sail in the building. And so yeah, we appreciate you, man. You're listening and watching. I forgot the name of my show. Yeah, right. Real Talk with the director of the Jedi Council. I'm the director. I brought my Jedi Council with me. Yeah, I did. Don't believe me? Well, here they are. Ralph, Kev, you're in the building. What's up, gentlemen? Welcome back.
What's good, people? What's going on, everybody?
Hey, man. So we'll start off. We'll get into the Scarlett Johansson talk in a moment. I want to kind of start off with the Rolling Stone article. We might actually have a guest later. Our friend of our show might be coming on, my man Mr. Perez, and because I wanted to talk to him. I wanted to wait for him if he does show up to talk about the Scarlett thing and the whole thing with Disney and that whole debacle. But yeah,
because I got a lot to say about that, and I'm pointing to you two guys. I told y'all this was going to happen.
What did you tell me was going to happen?
I said this from Jump Street that something like this was going to happen because it all comes down to money. That I was all for the streaming stuff, but when they decide to turn around and just say, well, you know what, we're going to put all this stuff into our streaming services because they wanted to use the pandemic as an excuse that this is why we're doing it. I sat here many times and I said, there's gonna be all kinds of lawsuits because people gonna lose all kinds of money. All you said, no, they gotta stop being butthurt and all this other stuff. I knew this was coming because I knew the studios didn't think about this, and just pull that move.
No,
first of all, they didn't use the pandemic as an excuse. That's first and foremost.
That is exactly what Disney. That's exactly what Disney is using. They're saying, well, because it was a pandemic.
Well, no. What they're doing is they're using it now as a way to kind of take a shot at her and trying to publicly go after her character. That's what they're doing. Now, this is not the first time, this has happened. Meaning, like when it happened with Warner Brothers went back and made it right with the filmmakers as much as that they could.
Yeah, they didn't even go back. They didn't even go back. They just from the outset.
Well, they did it from that. Maybe they did it from the outset, but
because remember when this all happened, Christopher Nolan, everybody came forward and said no, that we signed deals with you guys to put this movie in the theater, right? And everybody was saying how stop being butthurt, because the pandemic. This is what's going to happen.
But they have settled that stuff.
We don't know that
filmmakers.
We do know that they did.
That's why we're having Perez come on. He could confirm it too. He was, he has insight on Warner Brothers and all that other stuff. He's already confirmed that with me before. But yes, why do you think they're not talking no more? You really think so? Christopher Nolan, after all of that noise he made, just all of a sudden stop talking. Never mentioned it again.
Well,
you know why he never mentioned it again?
I'm not
two things.
Non-disclosure.
Exactly.
One is a non-disclosure, but the other, but even without a non-disclosure, the main reason why Christopher Nolan ain't say shit because Christopher Nolan put his foot in his fucking mouth, and don't get me wrong, Tenet was a good movie. It was an awesome movie, but we are in the middle of a pandemic. We are in the middle of this is a by contact virus that we're dealing with. So to put yourself in a movie theater setting is kind of like saying like, oh well, fuck it. I'm just gonna roll the dice and take a chance. That's like knowing a chick got AIDS, but you're gonna put yourself inside of her with no condom, knowing that she got AIDS, herpes, or whatever.
Hold on a second. You gotta remember who I am. Before you use that analogy, let me tell you something. That really happens. That really goes.
No. It absolutely 100% happens. That's the reason why diseases spread, because it 100% happens. But my point being is that Christopher Nolan's like, I'm going to save movie theaters. Tenet is going to, and let me change that. Tenet is going to be the movie that's going to save the movie theater business. Tenet is going to be the savior, and it wasn't.
Nah.
Yeah.
Even I'll say that it was a great movie, but nah, that wasn't the savior. That Bond movie might have been the savior.
No. Let's keep it
no savior.
No movie would have been the savior.
No movie is going to be
no
the savior.
Movie. Not Black Widow. I'm gonna tell you like this. Endgame could have came out during the pandemic, and it would not have been the savior of the movie theaters. You know why? Because people were not trying to be in a movie theater. I know for a fact. I saw Tenet 5 times. 4 of those 5 times was in the movie theater. Out of those 4 times, 3 of them I was the only person in the movie theater.
Well, I know me. I've seen 3 movies post pandemic. I saw Cruella, I saw A Quiet Place 2, and I saw Black Widow in the theater. And I'll tell you something. I saw Cruella out in Vegas. It was halfway full. Now I saw A Quiet Place in Vegas, and the theater was full. I saw Black Widow in New Jersey. The theater was full, right? So if something comes out, I think people would want to go see it. Now,
no. There's a caveat to that. There's a caveat to that because of the time period. When Tenet came out, they were still trying to figure this shit out.
It was
in the height of the pandemic.
But I'm not talking about them. I just saw Cruella and Quiet Place in May.
At the end of the pandemic, when they opened everything, and actually, Vegas was already open around that time. Yeah. Vegas was one of the 5 states that was already open. Vegas, Georgia, Florida, Texas, and what was the other one? There was another one that were basically open. And
Florida,
I said Florida, and was just willy-nilly about it. But places like New York, California, all the major cities, with like again, with the exception of Florida cities, were not open for business. So that still doesn't even count. Those areas are going to have more than half to full capacity theaters because they're listed as open states. They were listed as business as usual.
But
you can come in and do what the fuck you want. No mask, no nothing.
Yeah, let me bring it back. Let me bring it back for a second. First of all, Ralph, I want to say this. You are not actually recapping it like it really happened.
You know what?
Let me finish. Let me finish my point. Let me finish my point.
I haven't trying to go back and get.
We got people in the chat room complaining. We got people in the chat room complaining that we're talking over each other. So let me finish my point. You did not recap it how it actually happened. Now, what happened was when we were talking about this previously, and we talked about, you mentioned about the money and we were talking all about that stuff. What I said was, I never said nothing about. I agreed with you about, they're gonna have to figure out how to pay the big actors the money when they go into it. Because remember, I brought up a list of actors that got paid and what their salaries were based on movies that they did straight to streaming services. And I told you that, no, they can figure it out. It's just a matter of when they do it, how they do it. They could figure it out. Remember that list of the top paid actors? I remember. And it was like 10 of them, and like 8 of the 10 were all streaming service movies. And they got paid in the high 20 millions and the high millions and stuff like that for the job. So here's the deal. Now back to Scarlett. She got paid her money. Obviously, you get paid your money when you do the film. But she had, her being a producer, she had back end money coming to her based on the performance and things like that. And what they have said, what her team is saying is that this lawsuit is strictly on Disney not doing their due diligence and honoring their contract by knowingly renegotiating the whole situation with the streaming service and not coming back to the table to talk to them about their money, right? That's what they're suing them for. It's not just about, you don't know, you didn't get paid. Yeah. So when you said about what you were talking about originally back then, you were saying about how you don't understand or you don't think that these big studios are going to be able to pay these with the pay of the actors and stuff like that, because the box office, like back end money, stuff like that. That's right, the back end money. Right. And I said, no, I understand that. I said, but what they're gonna have to do is they're gonna have to figure it out. Obviously, it's gonna have to, that's what this show is for. It's gonna be a change in the structure of how they pay people, whether they give them more money up front and just forget about back end. You know what I'm saying? And just say, listen, instead of giving you $20 million, we're going to give you $40 million. Maybe, people's upfront paychecks may have to go up. But the bottom line is not to get off of our subject of, why we're here in the first place, because Disney, and we said Warner Brothers, for the first time, Warner Brothers probably did something right that Disney didn't do right for the first time.
And I want to make a note of this, which is something they didn't have to do, because technically speaking, they honored their agreement by releasing it in theaters. Still, by adding day and date, they was just opening a and the other thing too is,
and remember, they don't charge extra.
They don't charge for that. That's that right. So that's the other half where they're not,
I just got that problem giving Warner Brothers some dap.
They deserve it. They deserve it. They did it right because they didn't charge extra for it. I guarantee you, she may not even made as big of a stink if Disney had not have charged extra money and made an extra $60 million off the books, so to speak. You know what I'm saying?
But you know what I think too? I honestly believe that it's something deeper than that. Because she knew, we all knew that this was coming way back with Mulan, that there was a chance that this was going to happen. So the moment that you knew that this was going to happen was when you should have said something. You should have been speaking up front.
Yeah.
Like,
okay,
went
to her and said, "Hey, listen."
Well, no, I'm not talking about them. I'm not talking about them saying nothing to her. I'm talking about her having her people say something to them.
We don't know if she didn't know. That's the thing. We don't know if she did or did not.
I'm kind of going with the fact that her camp and Disney during this time after Mulan didn't talk to each other, because maybe you wouldn't got to this point right now. If there was some sort of previous discussion, then maybe we wouldn't know anything about this. Like, listen, this is what we think is in the best need of our company, because we have absolutely no idea when people are going to start going back to movies, maybe we can put them in the theater. So we need to change this a little bit around until until people start going, or not even when people start going to the movies, until we're able to actually show our movies on the big screen again. This is what we would like to do. Now think about it. You had over a year to get this problem solved, right? And nobody took the time. Nobody took the time to do it.
They took now in the chat room. Raven says, as a person who used to work at a movie theater, it was already a dying business even before the pandemic. She said the pandemic was the nail in the coffin. So
I don't know about that, Raven. I used to work in a movie theater, and I know it was a long time.
I think she worked a little more recent in the movie.
Yeah, so, but I used to go to movies all the time.
It's just her opinion. Yeah. Thank you for the thought, Raven. But let me just clear up what Disney. So Disney had after they said they were suing Disney for breach of contract. Disney had made a statement basically saying, in case it says here, they said, there is no merit whatsoever to this filing. The lawsuit is especially sad and distressing in a callous disregard for the horrific and prolonged global effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. Disney has fully complied with Ms. Johansson's contract, and furthermore, the release of Black Widow on Disney Plus with Premier Access has significantly enhanced her ability to earn additional compensation on top of the $20 million she has already received to date. Now,
there it is, there.
No. Let me now. Here's it is. Scarlett Johansson's agency, CAA. All right, let me find where they said here. Okay, their answer was. Where'd they go? I want to address the Walt Disney. This was one of the agents from the agency, from the Creative Artists Agency, CAA. I want to address the Walt Disney Company's statement that was issued to respond to the lawsuit filed against them yesterday to our client, Scarlett Johansson. Brian Loud, co-chairman of Creative Artists Agency, said in a statement to Variety, they have shamelessly and falsely accused Ms. Johansson of being insensitive to a global pandemic, the global COVID pandemic, in an attempt to make her appear to be someone they and I know she is not. Scarlett has been Disney's partner for 9 movies, which have earned Disney in its shareholders billions. Lord continued. The company included her salary in their press statement, and in an attempt to weaponize her success as an artist and a businesswoman. And if that were something she would like that's something that she should be ashamed of. And they put Scarlett Johansson extremely proud of her work, blah, 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 blah. Actors, writers, boom, boom, boom. Disney's decision right here is where they said the suit has nothing to do with COVID-19. The suit was filed as a result of Disney's decision to knowingly violate Scarlett's contract. They have deliberately moved the revenue stream and profits to Disney Plus side for the Disney Plus side of the company, leaving artistic and financial partners out of the new equation. That's basically why the lawsuit is. I said that is it. It's pure and simple. Disney's attack on her character and all else that they implied is beneath the company and to many of us, the creative community, who have worked with successfully for decades. Mm-hmm. So that's what they said. So they're which now I'm gonna have to say this. I'm gonna say this. I kind of have to agree with them with CAA on this. You know, and I said this before. I think I might have said it off the air. It was not necessary to attack her character by trying to paint her as being selfish, so to speak, because now she's being selfish because, you know, we're in the middle of a pandemic or we've had a pandemic, blah, 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 blah. And so that was completely unnecessary, and it was wrong. And even Kevin Feige has went on record to say that he's disappointed in Disney. Kevin Feige, he said it too. He said he was disappointed in the way they handled this, the way this is being handled. Plain and simple, Disney should not have did it that way. If you're not gonna pay her, if you ain't gonna pay her, that's fine. You're not gonna pay her, but to go after and attack her character and try to publicly villainize her by saying, you know, bringing up the pandemic, and that's basically what they answered. They was like, this has nothing to do with the pandemic. It has to do everything with them knowingly violating her contract and switching the revenue stream to the Disney Plus side.
But see, that's the thing. They didn't switch anything under anybody's nose. It's right there, right smack in the open.
Deliberately move the revenue stream and profits to Disney Plus side of the company. Whether it's under their nose or not, they're saying that the point is she has a contract, and her contract it includes a certain amount of money from the back end. So if you're going to, but what they're saying is, like I said, I guarantee you they wouldn't have no argument if they would have did like Warner Brothers did and not charge people extra for the release of the film. Because HBO Max, as long as you have HBO Max,
yes, they would have. Yes, they would have. Yes, they would have.
It wouldn't have been. They wouldn't have had much of a case. I don't think it would have been bad. I don't think it would have been. Even if they would have fought it, they wouldn't have had much of a case or as much of a case. But I'm saying because that's what listen to what he said. They deliberately switched the revenue stream. They deliberately switched the revenue stream and profits to the Disney Plus side of the company. But there's no profits if you're not charging extra money for it. That's what I'm saying. You lose revenue stream.
Right, but that's the whole point.
But there's no profits though.
Right. There's no profit. So still, that means whether it's streaming or not, profit or no profit, they're saying that that like the as the case of, I forgot who made the point, but I remember somebody saying that that movie theater group that was like shame on Disney for doing day and date because that $60 million hurt our revenue stream. It didn't hurt your fucking revenue stream. It didn't hurt your revenue stream at all.
No, I think it does. I think it does because
of course it does. But let me finish. But let me finish. What I'm saying is it doesn't. If it was like how Warner Brothers did it, and it was day and date, but Warner Brothers is doing it and not they're not charging customers for it, then that's really that's hurting your business more than anything else. People like, well. So what Disney did was they was like, look, we're going to still make some money off of this, and we can still make some bread. And like they said in their first statement,
if they make money, she makes money. And
exactly.
That's what they didn't honor, though. Right. That's what they didn't honor. The contract basically says if the money, because it's all based on money made, right? So the contract says if they make money, you make money, whatever your percentage is. But they made money, and she didn't make money. That's the problem.
But see, here's the thing: language of contract. If the language of that contract was the money was strictly for movie theaters, it didn't say anything about streaming services. Nothing was mentioned about streaming.
Well, yeah, but here's the deal. I believe if it was that, they wouldn't even be suing. So the language of the contract, because no one predicted. Remember when that contract was written years ago? No one predicted.
Right, and that's exactly.
And they didn't even predict. They didn't even predict putting it on. Yeah, but they didn't even predict putting it on streaming that far along. You know, not day and date. They wasn't predicting that. So that's what I'm saying. The day and date thing obviously was a later decision made after they did the contract.
And actually, day and date. Disney's thing with day and date may have been after her contract, but that was something that they were toying around with at Disney before the pandemic.
Yeah,
they had already been talking about that.
The pandemic pushed them into doing it. Whether they talked about it or not, they never put the plan in motion until the pandemic, because that was a straight. That was damage control. That was something that was, to save face, to try to, get some of this money back, or whatever the case may be, just like everyone did. They all went, every single one of them went into this mode, and they switched it at the last minute. That is for sure. That contract for her was signed years ago, because they were supposed to have been made this movie. You know what I mean? So, and then, it was, so the bottom line is, with her being a producer on it, and they basically, it's the same thing. It's like freaking skimming the till. You know what I'm saying? It's like, or it's like taking it's like taking money. Making money.
That's nothing like.
Okay, fine. Not skimming the till, but the bottom line is, you making money one way. This is the way it's going to be made. You found a way to make more money, and her contract says, they didn't cut her in. That's all they had to do. All they had to do was cut her in, and she didn't even have to get the money.
It wasn't their responsibility to do that.
No,
of course it is.
I'm sorry. Yes,
it's contract. It is your responsibility.
No. The contract is very specific to theater. I'm pretty sure that contract is very specific to theater.
You can't say that because the fact that if it was specific only to theater, right? If it was specific only to theater, then they wouldn't have a case. They wouldn't.
I'll put it like this: theater and the normal thing, theater, DVD, streaming, blah blah, whatever.
Streaming is not the stream. Wait, stop. Streaming is not normal. It has always been movie theater to home video and then to cable. Streaming.
Wrong answer.
No, here's the perfect person to bring on. Here's the perfect person to bring on to kind of bring some light to that. Welcome back to the show, AJ Perez, who is in the distribution business. He's always been a distribution executive for many years, so he can probably bring a little light to that situation. AJ, what's up, man?
Hey, AJ.
What's going on?
How are you? Can you hear me?
Yes,
you got my ribs, man. You got my ribs. That's all.
They're slow
cooking. I'm grubbing right here.
I'm coming to LA in September, man. I want some ribs.
Every time we forgot you're in LA, or you're in Cali, and every time we're on, it's like dinner time for you. So you always got some, food going on. It's all good, man.
Dude, I just got some slow baked pork and put some beans and salsa on that.
Oh my God.
Got some
tacos. Listen, man. I'm coming to LA Labor Day weekend. I'm expecting a feast. The feast of men, some ribs, some really good bourbon, maybe a cigar. I might try a cigar for the first time. But I'm expecting that when I touch down in LA September 3rd.
So here it is. I don't know how much you may not get a chance to catch too much.
I didn't catch any of it.
Yeah, you didn't catch everything. So we're talking about the Disney versus Scarlett thing, and we were talking about just a moment ago. Obviously, I read some statements from the CAA, agent who represents Scarlett, and they talked about how, Disney, attacked her character by saying, that she is, it was a very, what's the word they use?
Selfish.
I don't want to misquote them. I don't want to misquote what they said. They said her disregard, her callous disregard for the horrific and prolonged global effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. Right. So they were saying about, it was unnecessary to go at her like that. And it has nothing to do with the pandemic. It has everything to do with it says here, has everything to do with the fact that Disney it said knowingly violated Scarlett's contract. They have very deliberately moved the revenue stream and profits to Disney Plus side of the company, leaving artistic and financial partners out of the loop or out of the new equation, basically.
Well,
so,
I can tell you right now that the reason that Disney's saying that it's got no merit is that there's always a clause for force majeure, and technically we're still in a pandemic.
Yeah.
So they can say, look, we're in the business, we're trying to get the stuff out and get it out there. And, even now, I don't think even if it was 2 years ago, yes, she could have fought it and fought whatever she wanted to. But right now, dude, over 60% of Americans don't want to go to theaters. They'd rather watch the stuff at home. I haven't gone to a theater yet. I want to go to a theater, but every time I want to go to a theater, I'm like, hell no. So.
We all want to. I mean, some of us have. I'm not there yet. I haven't gotten back to.
I got two friends that went to like the 12 o'clock show midweek, and then like the theater was ours, and that was it. But
yeah. Kev just mentioned too. A couple times he went to see Tenet. He was the only one in the movie theater. So it's like, I mean, if you're the only one in the movie theater, then fine. But I don't know if
have you seen Tenet?
Yeah.
That's why there's only one person in the theater.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
But check it out though, AJ. Now remember, I live in Florida, so the theater, Florida acts like a pandemic isn't even going on. So the theaters still, be kind of full out here, and the malls and the beaches and everything else, because according to Florida, we're not in a pandemic. No. But anyway, like I was saying, so the thing is, what we were just talking about is the fact that I'm looking at both sides of their cases, and with Scarlett, I'm wondering. Obviously, none of us have seen her contract. We don't know exactly what's detailed in it. Right? We don't know exactly what it says. But when it comes to, I guess the back end profits, right? This is a question that's more up your alley. When it comes into like back end profits of this distribution, now remember they said that we all know that they made these changes about the streaming later in the game, obviously after she signed her original contract. Right. Do you think now what's the normal route of distribution like that they would cover in a contract? Obviously profits from box office. And what else? Home video. What else? What else is covered?
It's everything. It's anything that's where exploitation turns into revenue.
Okay.
So it could be whatever. Even a church, a church watching it and paying $200 so its church members can watch it. They have to pay whatever her back end is on that $200.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's
any form of exploitation.
Any form of exploitation. Okay.
And the thing is
Makes
that
sense.
Everybody wants a Robert Downey Jr. contract, but not everybody got to play Iron Man and be Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
Because he would take like low pay. Like, he's like, all right, I'll take $10 million, give me 25% on the back end. And that's so they could hire other actors and pay them more.
Made them more, yeah. That's true.
So with Disney, towards the end, they were sorry they made that deal with Robert Downey Jr. because he was making like $100 million a franchise.
I know he was making a killing
per movie. Like he was making like $100 million per movie.
Yeah, but, because of the back end money. Yeah,
dude. But you're looking at a movie that did 83 worldwide, 32 here. another 30, so it's $150 million. As of Friday or whatever, whenever the thing released, it's not making $600 million. You know, it wouldn't have done it. And you know, and by charging $30 at home, even I think that's a little too much. But I still paid for it.
Yeah,
but,
me too.
You know, it's like, I didn't mind watching it at home. I've seen it a few times at home.
Yeah, me too.
You know, which is where they're
cutting
cutting
for it. You can keep going and watching it,
which is cutting into some of that. But you know, I think that Disney was right and wrong for showing her pay.
Yeah,
that was
$20
million
and
is
wrong,
a lot.
right?
Like a lot of actresses, big name actresses, don't get $20 million.
Right.
You know, they're lucky.
They were wrong. They were wrong for putting it out there like that. But like you said, right and wrong. It was a move it was a business move trying to do, you know, make their point, but it doesn't make it right.
All it's going to do is going to make her peers go, you know, really, you blankety blank, you're bitching and you made $20 million?
I'll be like, hell yeah, when I could have made another 60 on top of that. You damn right.
But dude, there's no revenues to make $60 million. Nobody's going to the theaters.
Nobody's going.
60% of America is not going back to theaters. At least
60, yeah. At least 60. So how do you think now the reason why we even started this conversation, because
I think that Disney should have given her an extra 10, 15 million like they did Gal Gadot.
Exactly.
You know, because they're like, here you go. Even her director got another $10 million. It's like, hey, here's some money. We know there's a back end. We don't know what it's gonna have. We don't know what's gonna be. So here you go.
Yeah, it's almost like a kill fee. You know what I mean? Like, hey, you know, we know you're not gonna make the money that you might have made, but here's something. And then
but let's keep it clear. And let's keep it clear. They did that again because somebody from legal was like, you know what? It'll be cheaper to do it this way now than to have to deal with.
And then they need the Well, you talking about Warner Brothers? Yeah. Well, that was regardless of why they did it. That was good. They did it. And the fact that Disney did not do it, that's where I think where they're wrong with it. I don't think that, like I said,
I don't even think they're wrong.
They're definitely wrong. They should have did something for her.
No, they
should have did something for her.
They are clearly wrong.
They should have did something.
No, they're not clearly wrong.
No, and I say it.
In what interpretation? In what interpretation?
I say it to
if you're talking about from a moral standpoint, I'll grant you that you have a point from a moral standpoint.
No, a
business standpoint. From a business standpoint, what her contract says is what's law. That's the bottom line.
All right, but we know
that, but we don't know exactly what a contract said. Well, you said what AJ just brought up. The contract includes any form of exploitation. So that means if you make money off of this, you need to pay her something.
Right.
They
made money off of it that she didn't get nothing paid from. So that's a breach of contract.
Okay, hold on.
But Kev, look at it like this.
Let me go back and clarify that because
thank you.
Any money that they're making right now, they're not going to pay her. Like even the box office receipts for anybody.
Right.
Just an accounting period. Depending on when you fall in that quarter, at the end of that quarter in that reporting, that's when they get paid. Right now, they're just gathering receipts. It's not like they're like, oh, we made $50 million and here's your back end. Here, and a check tomorrow. No, because it's what was reported. What they get after it got collected, you know, by the time the service, whomever gets it, that's 60, 90 days between themselves. It doesn't include other distributors, sub-distributors, you know, paying all the costs, everything else. So they're not going to see, what's going to see money anyways for 6 to 9 months, maybe.
Right. Okay.
Unless you're going to make a sequel because the movie blew up. And they're like, hey, by the way, here's how much we got. Boom. We're going to send you to the next movie right now while you're happy. We just gave you a ton of money. So just think what could happen the next movie because here's what you heard so far.
It's just them just securing the next, the next film. So they probably
and she knows that she doesn't have another movie coming up. Disney for sure is never going to hire her again.
Well, I mean, you know, her arc was over anyway. So she was done with, you know, they were done with her. She was done with them. Whatever the case may be, her arc was over. So we all know that too. But I guess what I would think is, just on your opinion, what do you think? Let's just say, okay, that's the time period that you're talking about. But so now, I guess we really won't truly have the answer unless we saw a contract. But let's just say it's written standard as in any form of exploitation. So the fact that
that's on there,
right? That's definitely on there. More like so.
Believe
so now,
SAG has a big deal about that stuff right now regarding any form of exploitation. Because, mind you, she doesn't even have to collect it. SAG will collect those monies for her.
Right.
That's why she pays the SAG dues and all that stuff. And trust you me that SAG's already got a rep over there doing an itemized listing of the receipts because they need to get paid.
Yeah.
And she needs to get paid. And SAG will chase you for $10. I am not a fan of SAG.
They'll hunt you down.
Yes,
their SAG is
they'll hunt you down like
not
Vader.
a fan of SAG.
They'll hunt you down. They'll hunt you down like Vader with the lightsaber. For real.
Yeah.
Yeah, they will. For $10, like you said.
No, they will chase you down and make you
for
like
those
hell.
who
They'll send you a
listening,
big
SAG
old
is the
letter.
Screen Actors Guild. That's the Actors Union, the Screen Actors Guild. Right. SAG.
They will send you a 40-page document to collect $10. This is what they
Meanwhile,
do.
it cost them $300 to make that document.
Oh no,
Just for $10.
If it ever goes to arbitration, you know, you look at
then you gotta pay for that too.
So paralegal did it, but they're gonna go ahead and take credit for it, so they're gonna charge you $800 and bump up the costs. You know, it's like, the stamp is only 45 cents. Oh, but we're SAG, it's $1.80. You know.
Well, here's the deal. Now, with that being, I hear what you're saying. So now, with that being said, right? So, how do you count the extra money that they charge for the streaming? Would that fall under that same?
You get a
umbrella?
report. You get a quarterly report. It tells you who, what, where, and why. And you know, the only thing that that we won't get, which is obviously what you're seeing right now with Zack Snyder, Warner Brothers is not being forthcoming with the numbers.
Nope.
Because nobody's reporting it. They're keeping all the numbers internalized. There'll be an audit 6 to 12 months from now, and they'll have to really announce what the real numbers were. But you know, on things like this, Disney needed to put it out because they knew they were going to have some problems. We made $30 million in streaming, so that way it's there. You know, Warner Brothers, dude, they'll never tell you what they got and all that stuff. And the thing is that when you're dealing with streamers that give you the movie as part of their service, the back end comes out of whatever the back end participation is to the agreement between HBO Max and Warner Brothers. There's still an agreement.
Yeah.
It's like dealing with USA or Uni or whatever, NBC or whatever. They might. It's a Universal film. It's going to play on USA. USA will only pay them X amount of money for it. You know, they know what their thing is, but they're only going to report X amount back over to whomever it is. You know, there's clauses for like this movie can't play on free cable for 3 years.
Right.
Because at that point, the producer, the filmmakers, the people that have revenue share only get half of the half.
Got you.
So the longer it stays out there, the longer it doesn't do anything. It's because they're trying to work out the math between their own departments on how to do it. It's not like it's an illegal thing. It's just they're not showing it within that first 24-month window. We can still get a lot more money. They'll wait that extra 12 months. That way they don't have to pay you as much. And that's what they're talking about. Like, creators, distributors. And that's usually what happens to a lot of indie guys. Is that, you know, these distributors they work with, because they sign their movie away for 10 years or 20 years. They're like, hey, it's on Tubi. It's got like 800,000 hits, and they got some crazy numbers. They're like, and you owe me this much. It's like, no, on Tubi you might have got that much, but if you follow your contract, you only get this amount of that.
Exactly.
So it comes down to a penny. Maybe you get half a penny.
Yeah.
So here's your $5,000 check.
Yeah, exactly. Your $5,000 check. So with that being said, right, the fact that we're even here where they're suing them because they said, they changed the revenue stream and blah, blah, blah. So does that mean Disney is trying to obviously not give her whatever portion from the Disney Plus?
It's just a lot of magic mumbo jumbo to say we got ripped off. It's like when you're paying, because you're literally paying pay-per-view, and it's pay-per-view everywhere. So I don't even have to go to Disney Plus. I can rent it from Fandango. I can rent, Black Widow from whomever. It's a regular pay-per-view film. So whatever there's very specific numbers that are in their agreements regarding pay-per-view and whatever they decide to charge, because you got your premiere, which is your $30. Then you got your 60 days later you get your rental, which will drop down to $14, and then 3 months after that you'll get it for $4.99.
Right.
And then eventually, I think 5 months from now, you'll see Black Widow for free as part of the regular service on Disney Plus, exclusively on Disney Plus. And then it'll fall back to the membership thing. The movie by our members, we have 30 million members, and 1 million members watched it. They're going to break down the 1 million across their $12.99 cost that it charges to do that, and then they'll get a small percentage across the entire catalog. How many it was actually watched? That's where the revenue comes from. That's whenever you see a Mark Wahlberg film on Netflix. They're like, oh, first weekend 165 million views. Mark Wahlberg probably got 15-20 million, but off those 165 million views, he's probably going to get 1 or 2 pennies.
Yeah,
that's a lot of money.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's just streaming.
It's real crazy, man. But so to move forward is, how do you think this is going to affect? Because now there's reports or rumors, whatever you want to call it, or reports of other people possibly coming forward as well.
The Rock's never going to sue Disney. Disney and The Rock are married at the hip.
No, not The Rock.
Well, they asked him today, and he never answered. He never replied.
He ain't gonna sue them. No.
No, he's not happy right now. His movie's a big flop. He's not going to say, I'm going to sue them. I only made $32 million in the box office. And they didn't do that well abroad.
Huh?
They even do well abroad. But I know they're talking to Cruella. What's her name?
Yeah, Emma Stone.
Emma Stone. They're talking to a couple other actors. Every contract's got force majeure, act of God. COVID is an act of God.
Okay.
That's all they have to fall back on.
That's what they got to fall back on. So I wonder how. So what do you think is this going to do going forward with the structure of how they? Is that going to change the structure of how they do?
If you're doing a big movie, actors might charge you more up front.
Yeah.
The reason for the back end and stuff like this is because it allows you to hire an actor at a certain rate. At
a different rate.
Yeah. And then, don't forget, all this is made up because of SAG. And you got to pay actors this amount, and you got to pay actors that amount, and all the stuff. Oh, your budget's this high? Oh, you got to pay us this as a security deposit. I mean, it's just a big bank, dude. It's just their deposits and withdrawals, and I mean, they're almost like the mob, where they're like collecting those union fees from every filmmaker, and this is for the rest of their lives. Like every movie that's made that's a SAG film, those filmmakers, those owners of those movies, have to pay royalties forever.
That's how they keep going, I guess.
And they got people in the same thing. It's like, it's all they do is collect money. It's like, I didn't see a report. Here's this. And I mean, God forbid you try to make another movie and they'll hold up this movie so you don't make the other one. That's
This is the whole reason why. This is the whole reason why some shows they try to keep them like when they're trying to cancel an actor or they're trying to cancel somebody. Yeah. This is why they try to kill them from getting from their syndication deals. Like, oh, don't show them anymore because then all that syndication money is getting killed. That's what happened with Cosby. But meanwhile, Roseanne is still on how many different streaming services and being shown?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, and then you got SAG will call an actor's agent and say, "Do not show up to that set, or you're going to get your membership revoked."
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
and we they're like SAG is tough, man. Especially, I mean, on all of them, man. And they, yeah, I've dealt with them too, and I'm on the low level when I've dealt with them. I'm just like, boy, SAG, man. They want everything.
No, and they show up to your set. They try to, if you got a half union, non-union show, they'll come in and talk to the other people that are actors. Like, hey, you got to join the union, and we'll take care of you, but. Those actors, they're not going to take care of them because they don't care about them. They're just little extras. They have one line here, there.
They just want that extra $2. They want that extra $2.
They want that extra dollar that they can collect that they're never going to give them.
And you just gave me an idea for another show. I don't want to do a show bashing SAG, but I want people to understand the real deal about it. And I was talking with a friend of mine.
I just firsthand experience.
Right. Yeah. I was talking with a friend of mine, actor friend of mine, and he was telling me also, he was like, the bottom line is even when you on the independent side, even as a signatory company, stuff like that, you're the least person on their totem pole that they're worrying about. You know what I'm saying? Like, meaning like when they come in, yeah, we'll take care of you, blah, blah, blah. But you're doing the independence and stuff. They're not as compliant as they would if they're making money. If they're not making money off you, that's the thing.
Then you're dealing with IATSE. Oh, those guys are a lot of fun.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah. That's a whole nother. They're but you know what's funny with them? And they're the unions like with the crew and stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing about them is I've found myself all the time not arguing, but debating with just shaking my head at some cats that's even in the union, and they talk down about non-union projects, but then every time I see you, I'm seeing you on a non-union project, and you're taking this money, but you it's like they go on non-union projects because they need the money, and they sit there and complain about the non-union project the whole time, talking about, well, if this was, that's just like Kev, that's just like meal penalties.
Meal penalties. Like, really, you eat like a king.
Yeah, meal penalties. And we had a quick funny story. My first feature film, The Trade-Off. We shot. Yeah, we had this dude named Chung Pai was our director of photography, and he was apparently in the union, but he did this non-union project, right? So we shot it, blah, blah, blah. And literally, like the dude who was like the executive producer, he was, obviously it's an independent set. So he's running around buying up food and bringing it for the set for everybody and stuff like that. This dude, literally, he could be 5-10 minutes late. This dude talking about some meal penalties. It's like, right?
Now, wait, Wes. Now, to his credit, and to his defense, we did run long sometimes, but
we did. But you knew we knew he was.
But you A, you knew what it was. B, you ate good. Like there was not a day you had breakfast, lunch.
You ate like
you had breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You had food. So
food. We went. Yeah, every time we ate, we ate great.
I have crafty on the really close to the set. Just throwing food at people. Like, how close are we running? Like, here, give these guys, just throw some food out there. So at least you're eating. If you got to go 3 minutes over.
Yeah, the last thing I just shot, I was shooting, stuff for Groupie, and I was, I had my my assistant going out and grabbing food ahead of time, but they was all happy. All my actors was like, "Yeah, man, you treated us great. We thought we expected pizza. We didn't even get pizza. We getting this and that." Man. I was like, "That's what I want to hear." I said, "Make sure you take that with you." I said, "Cause next time you get pizza."
No,
I'm
dude.
like, no, but yeah, man. So I don't know. So what do you think's gonna happen now with So let's say, okay, we got Cruella, right, which kind of went through the same situation. So
Yeah.
I'm assuming these actors are going through the same situation now. They're following suit. They're trying to open some floodgates here. What do you think Disney could do? If you're Disney, what do you do?
Well,
what would you do?
I mean, I can tell you that with Disney, it's not good to have Kevin Feige sitting there complaining about the same subject, because that empowers you as a Marvel actor or Scarlett Johansson. It empowers her because, like, hey, the guy that runs Marvel, so now you're gonna have some infighting.
Yeah,
And
that wasn't a good look for them, because for Kevin Feige to come out and say that, and he said he was disappointed in how Disney handled this.
Well, I mean, dude, you're in the middle of a pandemic. This is how big Disney's ego and Marvel's ego is right now. Like, they should be making another $1 billion because it affects his bottom line for his next $50 million bonus.
Yeah.
You know, Kevin Feige makes $50 to $100 million a year, easy.
Yeah.
This thing not hitting $1 billion. That he was counting on some millions so he can buy another boat or do whatever.
But it wasn't going to hit $1 billion, no way. I'm just dead serious. It really wasn't.
No, you know what? The sad part is that it's really a good movie.
It is, but it's
really
not. It's not. But it's not $1 billion. It's not $1 billion project.
It's not $1 billion movie. It would have done 350.
850. 8
total.
Nah, I think it would have done 5 at the
maybe
most.
about 850.
Let's say no pandemic. You think
I'll give it
done
6.
5?
I'll give it 6. I maybe
Nah.
6.
Pandemic.
Maybe 6.
No pandemic. No. Listen, no pandemic.
5.
No pandemic released on its original release track. It would have definitely made 8. It would have definitely made 8.
It would have probably. You gotta remember also. You're right. If it was no pandemic, that means it was released when it was supposed to be released. I mean, even though this is like a postmortem, film or whatever you want to call it.
It's a post Endgame film, so you still would have had that. You would have still had that Endgame draw to where even you had your loyal fan base, which is us, but then you also had your normal regular moviegoer. They were like, "Oh, it's not a part of that Endgame thing. Yeah, let's go check it out." So even if it's not first weekend,
here's what
it's
Disney's gonna do.
Here's
what Disney's gonna do. They're gonna go back over Scarlett's solo movies. And they're going to compare those to what this one did. And they're going to go, these movies flopped. Those movies, she can't carry a movie. And they're going to go through her whole thing. They're like, nope.
You know what? AJ, I didn't even think about that part.
Yeah, that's
he does have
interesting.
But wait a minute. With that being said, beyond
and that was full, no COVID, nothing.
What I was about to say was, even if they do that, can't she say, well, wait a minute, I still got 2 Oscar nominees, so what the hell you got to say? I'm still a 2-time Oscar in the same year.
You're a 2. It's the same thing. And listen, just so we're clear,
Academy Award-winning movies don't have to make money.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say. You're a box office flop with 2 Academy Awards. That's exactly what they're going to say. And I love Scarlett Johansson. I actually think even her not Ninja Scroll. What was that? The Ghost in the Shell. I thought that was dope. I thought it was dope. I thought it was a good representation. I liked it. But it flopped. It did bomb. It did bomb. To me, it was still a good movie, but it did bomb. And it got panned by critics and because of the whole, she's not Japanese.
Lucy did okay. It wasn't a box office, $1 billion franchise, but I think it made a little money. Now with Luc Besson behind it, maybe takes away a little bit of her shine, but I don't know. Luke Besson don't have the best. Luke Besson don't have the best reputation right now.
Lucy still did not make a shitload of money.
Nope.
No, none of them did. I mean, especially compared to
and you got a movie that deals with science. Half the people at the theater don't know what the hell that. They were even confused at the Avengers. They travel through time again. That time, all that, dude. At a certain point, you lose the audience.
Yeah. Well, I talked about that earlier. I'm like, people are dumb. They don't want.
Yeah. That's exact words. People.
Oh wait, you're dealing with quantum physics again? Damn it!
That's not what we came here for. I want my money back. I didn't come here to learn. Listen, if I wanted to learn, I would have stayed in high school.
Yeah. Look, did y'all ever see Star Wars Episode 1? Did I really need to see all this stuff about the Senate? I want to see someone get cut down with a lightsaber. I
want to see somebody get cut down with a lightsaber. They wanted to see what happened at the end.
Right. I don't want to learn about the Senate.
Rogue. What was that called? Rogue One. That's what they want to see. They want to see Rogue One.
That's the best one still.
They want to see that. Yeah, it is. It is.
That's what they want to see, man.
So Rogue One gave you a class in political science and action all in one breath.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting, man. So I mean,
I don't know. I don't think that it's gonna. I think they'll settle out of court. She'll get 10 to 20 million. She'll get 10 to 20 million.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's all.
They should have given her. Here you go. Like, go away.
Right. They should have. Right. Exactly. They should have gave it to her from the beginning. That's my point. That's the point I was trying to make in the first place.
But again,
they should have gave that. They should have gave that to her in the beginning. And if they're gonna end up doing it, they're not gonna give her. What she's never gonna get what she potentially could have made. That's not gonna happen. She's never going to get what they potentially could have made.
No, again, they're going to look at a box office record. She cannot carry a movie. She cannot do more than $100 million.
Let's see. Well, okay, so now that's funny since you brought that up. I'm just trying to look at some of the movies that she did other than Avenger movies, right?
It's just really just Lucy. That's about it. Nothing else
Lucy.
even.
That's the only one that made.
I don't think anything that she's done by herself even come close to 50.
Not even
without Lucy.
Not without without.
Not even.
Anything other than her.
Not without the Marvel behind
movies. Her. Yeah, you have here. What was this? What movie is this? No, that's a animated movie. Sing. That I made 30 something opening.
A question at AJ. We're talking about this with Scarlett Johansson. Do the people that have been doing the Disney animated movies, all right, could they use this same defense? Like, well, it was supposed to come in theaters, but it just went to streaming services also, because nobody that does animated movies gets anywhere near that 20 million that she. And I would imagine that most people that do an animated movie don't get back in money. Or at least
I can tell you the Boss Baby, the second one, did really well in the theaters.
Mm-hmm.
And that's animated, and it did well on streaming. But that was a really good movie.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like Baldwin, I mean, he's kind of like a. But I'm saying the vast majority of the Disney animated cartoons or animated films, most of them, the cast are not would not sign to get a back end of that.
They just voice actors. They get paid whatever. Yeah. Maybe one or two of them might. It's like the number 1 and 2 on the call sheet. But other than that, there's like, hey, here's your payday, and a lot of them do it. They're like, hey, thank you so much.
Wow, that's too crazy, man. We're gonna have to see what happens. That's all I can say. Speaking of Sing Part 2 is on the slate to come out. But I mean, she wasn't the lead.
I didn't like the first one, and definitely not watching the second one.
No. Well, I
tell you what I am looking forward to. I tell you what I am looking forward to that I was shocked yesterday to see the trailer for. I was watching something yesterday and they showed the trailer for the next Candyman movie. I was like, yeah. Yeah,
that's another one. That was another one that was supposed to be out last year. That's
that was
out
supposed to be out last year. Yeah,
that and Ghostbusters. I'm looking. Those are two I'm looking for.
Ghostbusters looks really good.
Ghostbusters going to be vicious.
Ghostbusters looks good. I'm really. That's going to be a whole nostalgia thing too. Just and I think that they they're going to get it right this time. I'm sorry. I hate to keep bashing it, but the one with the all woman one was terrible. I'm sorry. That Ghostbusters was terrible.
Yeah, it was not their best work.
That was not, to say the least. The only one was funny, and I keep forgetting her name. Is the one from Saturday Night Live. That's the funniest on Saturday Night Live. I forget her name.
Kate McKinnon.
Kate McKinnon. Kate McKinnon's character was cool in that Ghostbusters movie. That was it. They didn't even handle the cameos right with the people from the movie. And
that was the worst part. They should have been themselves of who they were.
And I'm telling you right now, this one's gonna get it right because that based on that last trailer that you heard someone answer the phone and said hello, that was probably Dan Aykroyd. Who that was Dan Aykroyd.
Definitely is Dan Aykroyd.
When they called the Ghostbusters, they were like, hello. Yeah, exactly. That's what's good. They're gonna get it right. They're gonna get it right. Yeah, he said we're closed, right? Yeah. They're gonna get it right on this one. I can't wait. That's gonna be a good one.
That's gonna be a good one.
That's gonna be a good one. You know what looks good also?
Suicide Squad at midnight on Thursday morning.
Which one?
Suicide Squad.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna definitely check it out.
Midnight
Friday.
Midnight Wednesday. I'm gonna be up watching Suicide Squad.
Yeah. I'm gonna watch that too. I'm very anxious to see how he pulled this off because there's a lot of good reports on it.
Dude, wild numbers on Rotten Tomatoes. Apparently Stallone steals the movie as King Shark because they didn't know what to do with him until Stallone showed up. It's like, oh, let's play it this way, and they designed him to be the way he is.
That's crazy.
Stallone's comeback.
Yeah. And he's working on the new Expendables.
Well,
I did hear that. It's gonna be another Expendables. I don't know why.
He's already teased. He showed up. Why? What do you mean? Why, dude? This is.
I'm gonna tell you.
Go back and finish that Cobra TV series. That's what he used to do.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
But I'm gonna tell you why. I'm saying why. I'm gonna tell you why. Because if your thing was that you are going to use like all the older action stars bringing back, who's left that you didn't use already? Seagal, you don't like Seagal. Who else you got left?
Rudy Ray Moore's dead.
Yeah,
Patrick Swayze's gone. I mean, you're not getting Keanu Reeves as long as John Wick is going.
Good segue. So now they're rebooting Roadhouse. Ronda
Rousey. That's dead.
It's dead. It's dead.
It's been dead.
They killed it.
Yeah.
The Ronda Rousey one?
Yeah, that's been dead.
Well, after she left the WWE,
she can't carry a movie either. She can't act and can't carry a movie.
No, she can't.
After she left WWE, her stock went way down. You see, you ain't seen nothing from Ronda Rousey.
Even though she went to the WWE, and she did. Y'all know, actually,
she did.
Dude, she makes a lot of money, and all her influencer stuff. She's fine. She makes a ton of money. She's out in the farmland, pregnant, barefoot. She's happy.
That's what she wanted to do.
She's a gamer all day long.
Yeah, that's what she said she wanted to do.
Thank God they killed that, because I had read an article because I originally just recently someone else was talking about. I guess they were just kind of talking about it. Who was the guy that they were just saying? I remember Larry had put it in our thing. They were talking about Roadhouse, a possible reboot for Roadhouse, but it was with another guy and I can't think of his name right now. Martial arts guy.
Simply because I want to troll. You know who should be that guy? They do a remake of Roadhouse. That guy from Bridgerton that I can't stand.
Nah, hell, he should. He's a martial arts guy.
No, he's nobody. That's why I do it. Because I just feel like trolling. I just feel like trolling.
Somebody that got some martial arts.
I just feel like trolling.
Scott Atkins. That's what they was talking about.
Scott Atkins is pretty popular right now. He did that that movie in Japan with Donnie Yen. What's it called?
I don't remember.
I forget what it's called, but yeah, he's apparently getting a lot of.
Yeah, he's been getting a lot of. He's been getting. That's why they said so. Just recently, somebody had. I don't know if there was like a tweet or something like that, and somebody was like, "Yo, I need this Roadhouse reboot with Donnie Atkins as Dalton." You know what I'm saying? It says here, Grizz, and then Donnie Atkins actually. Okay, yeah, someone tweeted. They had tweeted the Donnie Atkins. Let me see if I can share the screen and show you guys. Where they say it right here. So right here, let's see if this is up. I don't know if you guys can see it. Yeah. So right here it says, "What do I want for my birthday? A new Roadhouse movie, but with Donnie. I'm saying Donnie with Scott Atkins, right? So and here's the picture of Patrick Swayze as Dalton, and then that's just a picture of Scott Atkins. So, and he retweeted that and put, "Greatest idea I ever heard." Right? Now, let me tell you, I'd be interested in that. I was not interested in the Ronda Rousey remake, but I'd be interested in that. He even got he even mimicked the little pose there, So Scott Atkins, not bad.
If it would have been Ronda Rousey while she was in the WWE, it would have went to a streaming service or video. It wouldn't have been a theatrical release. That's where it was.
The only way, and I talked about this with my friend. So the only way that would have remotely worked, in my opinion, is maybe if you would have had somebody like him in it as well, and then maybe you had something like that where maybe he was Dalton and she was somebody else, but they wanted her to play Dalton.
She likes doing that shit all the time, anyways.
Yeah,
she did that shit in real life.
What did you guys think of the Tomorrow War?
That's the one that's on
Amazon.
All kinds of fucking awesome. That movie was dope.
Yeah.
That movie theatrically would have made a ton of money.
AJ, I am so mad that movie was
an Amazon straight thing?
Amazon straight
$150 million film, straight to streaming.
It was up there with Rinse and Repeat. I keep forgetting the name of that damn movie, but the movie with Emily Blunt and Tom Cruise.
Oh yeah. No, dude, the movie is so good. That movie would have done $600 million.
Easy.
You think so?
Tomorrow War.
Tomorrow War, easy. And I honestly believe there was some stuff they left on the cutting room floor that could have still made it to the movie. Like I can't wait to see the next part of that. I hope there's a next part for that. And if there's not, great. But if there is, great.
It had really good character development. At the end, they're kind of like, okay, we're running out of money, so let's do this. But it was still good. You know what scene I'm talking about, right?
What scene you talking about? Kev,
which one? Yeah, he's talking to me.
When they're in the cave,
right?
That's when they're like, "Oh shit, we ran out of money. Let's just finish it up really fast."
I think their budget wasn't big to begin with, to be honest. Because even that scene,
SFX,
yeah, it's a lot of special effects. Even the bomb run,
we ran out of money.
even the bomb run through the city, it was so many cutaways on that. But it was put together well.
No, it was really almost flawless. It was really enjoyable.
Yeah.
Speaking of running out of money, everybody check out season 2 of the movies that made us. When they're talking about stuff like that. Where we ain't talking about running out of money, but they were talking about running over budget and
Forrest
stuff like
Gump.
that. The Forrest Gump one.
Forrest
Yeah, they
Gump.
ran out of money, I think, with Forrest Gump.
They did.
Like
I
what they
have
wanted.
not. I did not see that. All I know is that
That's a great show. Have you ever seen any of those seasons?
I think I did.
Series?
I don't know if which does it have The Rock in it? You know, the movie The Rock with
No, it has it has the first season talks about Home Alone, Ghostbusters, Dirty Dancing, and Die Hard.
Yeah. I saw those,
And then
yeah.
and now this is season 2 is Forrest Gump, Jurassic Park, Back to the Future, and Pretty Woman. That's what they're talking about.
Oh, you know, just a quick sidetrack. AJ, do you remember what TV special was it? Masters of Horror, or what was? Because I was trying to tell the guys last week. What was the one where they were the special where like it was completely dedicated to talking about Poltergeist, all the Poltergeist films and the Exorcist
yeah,
and the
that was on
Omen?
AMC.
Oh, that was on AMC. Okay,
yeah, it was on AMC.
It was Masters of Horror. Okay,
yeah.
And that was
fun
one
to
where
watch. It was hosted by Eli Roth.
Yeah, and that was the one where they broke down. But it was that one. But wasn't there another one where they broke down like all of the stuff that happened on set, like all of the like the guy like from the Omen, somebody's head really did get chopped off on the Omen.
Yeah.
What?
What?
Oh my Lord! Gee whiz! I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah,
I can't remember what the name of it is, but it was really good. And like they went through all the movies, but that Masters of Horror thing on AMC, I think they still have it every year, right, AJ?
They only did the one season.
Only the one?
Probably bring you back for Halloween.
They did like 10, 11 episodes, something like that.
Really? I'm gonna have to check that. Now that sounds interesting to check out. Definitely.
Yeah, I like to see that.
What I wanted to say, I don't know if you're AJ before, especially before you get off. So I'll bring you in on this too. I said at the top of my show. So Rolling Stone magazine puts out a list in I guess in honor of MTV turning 40, 40 years of MTV. Rolling Stone puts out this list of the 100 greatest music videos of all time. Now, I would normally give this light because it's really not light worthy. Yeah, because I'm gonna spoiler alert, Thriller is not on the list. 100 music videos, greatest music videos of all time. And Thriller is not, I repeat, not on the list.
What's on the list that shouldn't have been there?
A lot. A lot.
There's a whole lot of crap. Obviously I'm not going to go down on 100, but I'm just going to skim through and drop on just some of the stuff that they put in there that I'm just like, first I'm starting with the fact, we'll start with first, why the hell Thriller isn't on there. And I read what they put, because they put Billie Jean in there in the top 10. It's not in the top 5. It's not in the top, it's in the top 10, right? Okay. And normally I wouldn't have probably put Billie Jean in the top 5 anyway, but I did love it. It was a groundbreaking video when it came out. It was a very good video. They have it at number 10, but I see here one of the people said here, okay.
What are the top 10? What are the other 9?
Okay, I'll go to the top 10. So top 10 is Billie Jean. Number 10 is Billie Jean. They have. Number 9 is November Rain by Guns N' Roses. Okay, not a bad video. Number 8 is Sledgehammer, Peter Gabriel. All right. Okay. Number 7, Untitled, How Does It Feel by D'Angelo. Why is that number 7 or even in the top 20? I don't understand.
Top 100. Why is it even in the top 100?
He just got another 100,000 downloads because of that.
Yeah, exactly because of that. Thank you, Rolling Stone. Number 6, the Beastie Boys, Sabotage.
Yeah.
Number 7, New Order, The Perfect Kiss.
Who the hell is New Order?
I like New Order, but really, I don't even know that song.
Yeah. Number 4, they got Childish Gambino, This Is America. Right.
Okay, that's an interesting choice.
Interesting choice. Number 3, they have Madonna Vogue. Right. Number 2 is Johnny Cash Hurt. All right. And number 1, Formation by Beyonce. That's the number 1.
List.
According to them, number 1 best music video, greatest music video of all time. Now, here's the excuse that they put when they put Billie Jean. I just wanted to read this one little excerpt where they say, okay, Michael Jackson, blah, 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 rushed into the air. Okay, evidence. Right. His follow-up, Beat It, was equally stunning, innovative, classic. Both videos still cast that spell, no matter how horrifying the story got later. So they're talking about Michael Jackson's story.
Michael Jackson, yeah. No, I was going to say it's got to have something to do with his molestation.
It's got to have something to do with that. So then they said, and Thriller was the big budgeted 13-minute epic that was treated as an event, though it's really just a John Landis ego trip with not enough music and not enough Michael. But Billie Jean is the one. That's what they said. It still defines music videos.
Prince is not even up there.
Cultural, emotional impact.
Madonna should have been like a virgin.
Yeah,
you don't have Prince up there. I would take New Order out. What the fuck, man?
Now they had in the top 20. They had one of my personal favorite videos. Was George Michael's Freedom '90, the one with all of the supermodels in it. That was directed by David Fincher.
That's when he came out.
Yeah. When he came out. I thought, to me, that's one of my personal favorites. And if I'm going to have my personal favorite top whatever, that definitely would be in there because I'm looking at, it looks cinematic to me, the light from the lighting, everything in it. Very good. I thought that was very good. They got number 12 was Beyonce. I'm going back.
She's on there again?
Beyonce. Oh, she's on here like 3 times in this list. Well, she's in the top 20. She's on the list. She's in the list like 3 or 4 times. Wow. This is maybe 4
Obviously
times
it's
because
skewed.
Yeah, it's skewed. So Beyonce Single Ladies number 12. Number 13 is Nirvana Smells Like Teen Spirit. Number 14, which in my opinion goes in the top 5, is in my top 5.
Yeah.
Take On Me.
Yeah.
I mean, that's in the top 5.
Ahead of New Order.
Way ahead of New Order.
So this one here, number 15, is The White Stripes Fell in Love with a Girl.
Oh, my joint.
Missy Elliott is in number 16 with The Rain.
Oh, good.
Which was a great video, but not even her best video.
No.
Her best video was probably Work It. I think that might have been her best video. And then Duran Duran, Hungry Like the Wolf.
Gossip Folks. That's what I like.
Gossip Folks was dope too.
Yeah.
Prince Kiss is number 18. And number 19 is Radiohead, Paranoid Android. And then you got number 20. They have DJ Shadow featuring Run the Jewels, Nobody Speak.
Once again, who the hell is DJ Shadow?
I don't know. Now, 21, Fatboy Slim, Weapon of Choice. That should have been ahead of that one that they just mentioned. That's a cool ass video. Man. That video was awesome. And I'm just gonna run down some of the others and show you where they should have definitely been in the top 20. They got and some of them I just doing. So they got on number 27. They got California Love, Dr. Dre and Tupac. Okay, here's Beyonce again at number 29. The Carters, Ape Shit, with her and Jay-Z. And then I think she's in it again with Lady Gaga, like further up.
Yeah,
you're gonna make me go on their Rolling Stone page and cuss them out.
Britney Spears, Baby One More Time, was a good video. That was a good video. I don't know where it lands in my top whatever, but it was a good video. It was put together nice.
It's entertaining. Madonna's
on here about 3
MTV
times.
relevant.
Yeah. Madonna's on here about 3 times. Here's Madonna Ray of Light at number 31. What
I don't
number
know why they even
32?
put that one out there. That one
Hotline Bling from Drake. What the hell? That video was stupid. I mean, it was just him in an empty room dancing.
Man, I'm gonna go on
and
Rolling
not even
Stone
dancing good.
and talk
I
some
mean,
smack.
that's what I'm saying. No, not one. I mean, they got Janet Jackson Rhythm Nation in here somewhere. I don't remember where they put it. But, I mean, Janet Jackson actually, Janet's on here twice. They got her for Rhythm Nation, and they got her for Don't Know What You Got Till It's Gone. But, I mean, some of this stuff they got on here, AJ, I'm just like, bruh, what are they doing? What are they doing?
I got questions. Beyond the two people I said, who the hell is Tierra Whack? And who the hell is OK Go? What?
I don't know. But I mean,
I was like,
let's not get over the original hit. No Thriller. You got Beyonce at number one. I can name right off the bat at least 4 videos from Michael Jackson that was way better than that.
Who wrote the story?
No Scream.
Who wrote the story?
No Scream. What
was it? Kurt Loder that wrote the story?
No way.
No.
It couldn't have been him. It's a bunch of people that.
It's like the writer, like 10 years old.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what?
All of these people, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's about a dozen people that contributed to this story.
Right.
I guarantee you, at the top of the show, I said, I guarantee you, not one of them is probably over 30 years old.
Yeah, well, I actually can't. As the show has been going on, I've been slowly looking at these people. Right, I got 2, 4, 6, 8. I got about 15 people so far. The person that's first, if you look on that list, David Brown. Right now, he's 61 years old. He is the senior editor. But some of these people here have been working for Rolling Stones for about 2 years, 3 years. They're all young. You got one person up here that's Elizabeth Garber Paul. That's the culture editor. She covers sex, drugs, crimes, and cannabis coverage for Rolling Stone. Right? I'm saying a lot of these people, they say they're senior editor, they're senior writer, they're the digital director.
And I guarantee you, Michael Jackson was all over that list, and the 61-year-old was like, "No, we can't do that. No, we can't do that." Meanwhile, just so we're just to clear the air,
because he knows his audience.
Well, he knows his audience, but let's clear the air. Also, regardless of the fact that Michael Jackson was acquitted by the FBI, not charged for anything. It's been proven time and time again that he didn't do anything. But here we go. Then they said
the editor's going to say, you can't
take away the victims' voices. You know, that's the one thing that you got to be careful about.
Well, that's where the editor is going to come in and say we're going to
exactly.
We're not going to put him at number. When the bottom line is you're not judging him, you're judging the music video.
Exactly.
He didn't direct the music video. John Landis directed it. You know what I'm saying? So you're supposed to be judging the music video. So judge it properly. No Thriller, no Walk This Way with Run DMC and Aerosmith, like that was groundbreaking by itself. Having them in there together,
No TLCs, no Scrubs.
TLC, no Scrubs, or not
no
even
TLC?
waterfalls. No TLC nowhere, not even waterfalls when they're freaking standing on the water.
Was Van Halen in there?
Van Halen
way back
was in
like
there.
In the lower 50. I think it was like 61 or something like that. But no Hot for Teacher.
It was in the upper.
No Hot for Teacher. Jump. I get
no
Jump.
Hot for Teacher. It was just
Hot
Jump.
for Teacher.
I could get Jump because Jump used to play so much on MTV.
Yeah.
And the point I made at the beginning.
No Bruce Springsteen at all.
No Born in the USA.
Nothing. No Streets of Philadelphia.
If anything,
nothing.
put that one in there. Wow.
Nothing.
I don't.
They didn't put it in there. Yeah, it's crazy. You know what made it? It's number 71. You know what made it in there? Little Nas X, the Montero "Call Me by Your Name," the one where he's getting back shots from the devil. That movie, that one made the list.
You just upset my stomach.
Yeah.
No Nas. I mean, there is a cavalcade of artists that are not even. I said this, and I'm going to say
Wu-Tang in there. Wu-Tang in there.
No Wu-Tang, nothing.
No Billy
Not
Joel.
One, no Billy Joel.
How do you not
Uptown
put We Didn't
Girl
Start the Fire?
or
How
We
do you
Didn't
not
Start
put
the
that
Fire.
down?
Exactly. Now,
No.
Twisted Sister is in there at number 77. We're not going to take it. That should be on the list.
Wow.
I don't know if it should
A
be
lot
all the way
higher.
up.
Maybe they were listening to the girl with the cannabis stuff and doing some really good shit. That's some really good cannabis.
It was like, yo, that's that sour
ZZ
apple
Top is
diesel,
on there,
baby.
Kev.
They are? Okay, cool. Okay.
ZZ Top, Give Me All Your Lovins on there.
And
Talking Heads Once in a Lifetime is on there.
That shouldn't have been the song.
It almost looked like the 61-year-old probably did the top. He probably did from 100 to 100 to 91 or something like that. Because all of the videos, well, not really, because there's other ones in there too. But like Talking Heads is in there. But I mean, they got in the top. They got Weird Al Yankovic, Eat It. I would put him in there too because that was a very popular video, and it was the fact that he was a parody and he hit all those steps.
Yeah,
he hit all those steps. I go with Weird Al, but I mean, what are they doing, yo? What are they doing?
I don't
they
know.
Put Gangnam Style in there. That's in the list.
That's in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna go because now I'm upset.
Yeah. And that one you gotta head out, right? And Madonna's on this list about 4 times herself.
She is actually the only person
WAP in there too. The WAP is on there too.
Next Monday I'll be back if you're gonna do Suicide Squad.
Yeah, I will, man. Thank you for joining us, AJ. I appreciate you and giving us the insight.
Next Monday.
All right, brother.
All right,
later. See you next Monday.
Right. Labor Day. I'm out there. Madonna is the only.
She's the only one who deserves to be on here multiple times.
But that one song, Ray of Light, no. The one that she should have really been on there, if you're gonna talk about the appeal of the music video, is Bad Girl. That's the one that should have been on that list because that is
speaking of Bad Girl, exactly. I mean, there's no Usher in here, nowhere.
No Usher
for music videos. No Usher.
Nope.
I mean, Usher has multiple ones. You can go with My Way. That was a dope music video. A lot of colors and craziness going on. Set up. You could go with You Make Me Wanna.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And speaking of Bad Girl, even his song Bad Girl that had Beyonce in it, that was dope. He performed it with her live. I don't know if she was in the video.
I don't think he did the video. I don't think he did the video.
He performed it with her once live. Yeah. But that song was dope.
You have to remember,
Beyonce herself has better videos than what they named as Formation. Formation is not even her best video.
No, it's not.
You have to remember, you're not going to see anything by Chris Brown, Usher, R. Kelly. Well, particularly, Kelly, that's just a whole nother topic. But particularly Chris Brown and Usher, because if you put them on the list, you have to put Michael Jackson on the list because Michael Jackson is their influence.
Well, man, there'd be no them without Michael Jackson.
That's true.
Exactly.
So
trust me, this was a discussion that was had behind the scenes.
Yeah,
they knew what they were doing.
Yeah, of course they knew. And just like we said before,
how many decades? Go back. As a matter of fact, go back and this should be a research project to go back and look at how many times Thriller was in the top 10 of all time music videos, and then all of a sudden, out of the blue, it's not.
Yeah, and they put that. And the funny thing is, they put that right in their little opening thing there, where they say, "Oh, they talk about this, yeah, oh yeah,"
because Michael Jackson was a discussion. That was a discussion in the room,
of course. Because they said right here, "Oh, in honor of MTV's 40th anniversary, we decided to rank the top 100 music videos of all time. You'll notice some significant changes from the last time we did this. Yes, Michael Jackson is on there, but no, Thriller is not." That's what they put there. A few videos predate the channel, and several have never played on MTV at all. So why the F
right there.
Are you even doing this?
That part right there. How are you going to include a video, probably by those bands that said I never heard of, if MTV doesn't show music videos, then how will we have seen it to say, oh, well, it's so great? Sorry, that's a contradiction of terms. If I never seen the video and I got MTV2, MTV Plus, whatever, but if you guys don't show music videos, then how are you going to have the greatest music videos of all time if some of the videos on your list no one's ever seen before?
Because my only answer to that, it's dumb. It's dumb, but my only answer to that is this is obviously their list of the greatest videos of all time, and they're just doing it in honor of MTV. But it's not the greatest music videos, 100 greatest music videos that's ever played on MTV, because number one, they're talking about videos. They just clearly said in their little disclaimer in the beginning, some of the videos didn't even show on MTV at all, and a couple of them predated the channel.
Never.
Which means
that's the only part that I don't get that part. How does it predate the channel?
I'll explain it to you. Which means we're gonna pull in some of these videos and we're gonna take a lot of black culture out. That's why Beyonce's Formation is number one, because we're gonna let that represent all of black culture. Because since we can't have Michael Jackson, Michael Jackson has a stain. R. Kelly has a stain. Michael Jackson has influence.
But they do have a Prince song on there. They had Kiss on there. That's
they don't want Prince. They don't want
one Prince song. I'm sorry, but when Doves Cry,
that Doves Cry was a way better video. That was one of his best videos. When you talk about video wise, like, what is your criteria? Like, we need to do this, gentlemen. We need to do our own list. We need to do our own list and forget about Rolling Stone. What is your criteria for these videos? I mean, Sinead O'Connor, Nothing Compares to You, written by Prince, by the way. She's just sitting, she's just standing there, and you just see her face, and she's singing. How is that an interesting video? I don't understand that. How is that such a great video?
It was the same thing with D'Angelo. D'Angelo, I can understand.
Let me rephrase. Let me. At least, at the very least,
at least he was giving a lady something.
Right, you did something that you never really saw before, or whatever. He was naked, and they was doing the whole little thing there. At least it was different. She's just standing there, and it's only framed right here, her face, and she's singing. Wow, what a cool video! She's singing in this little box. Like, come on, man. Like, at least, Talking Heads didn't have the technology that some of the videos that came later, but they were creative. With
that video was awesome, though.
Yeah, their videos was great.
That video was awesome.
At least they put Video Killed the Radio Star at number 100.
You know what? I think that's the requirement for any movie list you have on music. Like, you got to put that video on there. That's the first one that was ever shown. That's shown. What I'm saying. So when they
here's Cardi B. Now I've gone on record. I've gone on record to say Cardi B, for some of these new artists, she is very good with her visuals. Cardi B you could tell that she puts work and time and money into her visuals. I give her that. But if you're gonna put in WAP with her and Megan Thee Stallion, which was a very visual, visually stimulating video. But to me, if you're gonna use Cardi B, I would use the later video that she put up called Up. That video was the sets, everything in that video was really dope. I can't lie. I'm not a fan of her music, but I think her visuals are, and even aside the sex appeal stuff, the sexy stuff is always great to see in any video. But I'm literally breaking down, looking at her sets, the colors that she uses, the lighting, the wardrobes. Her video, she puts thought into her videos. You know what I'm saying? And I think she's probably one of the better visual artists that's on the new batch of artists. Visually.
I might be one to give Rolling Stone the pass with Up, because although this list is, at least we're just now seeing the list, we don't know when this whole thing actually got put to bed when they wrapped it up.
That's true.
So I'm willing to say,
so
okay,
you can give him a pass for that. Okay,
I give him a pass for that.
I can buy that. I can buy
the other stuff. No, you guys, none.
Yeah.
Y'all don't get no.
I
I've been
mean,
sitting here, right?
Yeah.
I sat here all afternoon, right? Because see me, I'm an 80s, 90s kid. When I used to work in my video store, I have 46 videotapes, 6 hours at least of nothing but music videos. You could literally trace the history of music videos by those tapes. But I'm looking at my list here, right? Beyond Michael Jackson's not being there, and like I said, Billy Joel, Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg's nothing but a G thing. DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Freshmen. I'll go with Summertime over Parents Just Don't Understand.
But
Genesis,
either one of them that were different videos. You know, videos that could have made that list. Either one of them could have.
Right, either one of them. Genesis, Land of Confusion. That was all claymation.
Yeah.
Not down there. What happened to Ray Parker Jr. for Ghostbusters?
What happened
Coolio
to
for Gangsta's Paradise?
Money for Nothing? What about Money for Nothing by Dire Straits?
Tears for Fear. Yeah, Dire Straits. And since we want to have Anaconda down there, what happened to Sir Mix-a-Lot's Baby Got Back?
Yeah,
really. Christina Aguilera with Lil Kim, Maya, and Pink, Lady Marmalade.
Yeah, man.
Exhibits. What you see is what you get.
Yep.
Public Enemies, Night of the Living Basshead.
Night of the Living Bassheads. Or even Fight
Cindy
the Power.
Lauper's Girls Just Want to Have Fun.
How do you not
Fight
put
the
that
Power?
in there? How you not put Cindy Lauper, Girls Just Want to Have Fun? Or even, I'll take either one. I'll take Girls Just Want to Have Fun. But that was the one that was the more groundbreaking one because it played a lot. Yeah. But even She-Bop,
I would take She-Bop.
I would take She-Bop.
Or Goonies.
I
would take Goonies.
I'll negotiate any of them. Like, come on, dudes. Where's
MC Hammers? You can't touch this, right? I said Michael Jackson
again.
How do you not have We Are the World? How you don't have We Are the World?
We Are the World.
Again, y'all Negroes ain't listening. We gave you your black culture representation. Beyonce's Formation, Made in Africa, is it. Be happy.
Wait. There isn't videos even Eminem on the list. There's no Eminem Stan couldn't have won on that list.
That was a dope video.
Eminem was produced by a black DJ.
Don't matter.
By a black producer. Listen, y'all not paying attention to this list. You're not paying attention. They're doing everything they can to erase black culture as much as they can. Listen, and it's funny. You know, I may be joking, but it's kind of has some truth to it because at the same time, you have a whole bunch of TikTokers, black TikTokers, that are on a strike because of what these European Americans stealing black creators' stuff and not giving them credit for it. TikTok is real dry right now because with content because there are no black creators putting stuff out. So if you think they're not trying to erase the culture, just look at R&B over the last 15 to 20 years. Since the 2000s, since the late 1990s, all the way up until now.
No R&B. R&B is dead, in my opinion.
Exactly.
No,
that's because they moved it.
It's not dead. It's not dead. Just that nobody's playing it.
They moved it from singing.
Nobody's playing it.
They moved it from talent and singing to just everything's hip hop. Everything's just everything is just everything has to have features.
Well, they talked about that on did you guys there's another it's called Pop, something about This Is Pop or something like that. It's on Netflix, and they talked about that on how when they were talking about auto-tune, they did the thing about auto-tune, right? And they talked about you know, how the guy who actually created the auto-tune, what it was created for. We know what it was created for, but they went into that whole story. And then they talked about Boys to Men had their own episode. And they were talking about how Boys to Men fell off. So everyone wondered why they fell off so quickly, or not quickly, but they just kind of fell off abruptly. And they were saying because they got caught in a thing of like limbo. because by the time they were over here doing their thing, and they were appealing to white audiences because they were the ones that influenced those other boy bands that came out, like Backstreet Boys. And
rather,
all of them,
they saw opportunity and stole it.
Yeah, right. So yeah, right. So here's the deal. While they came out, because it's like, hey, let's be honest, the young white girls were listening to Boyz II Men. They were putting Boyz II Men on their wall. So once they started getting Backstreet Boys and NSYNC and 90 Degrees, now they start, they got the white bands that they could put on their walls. So now Boyz II Men was in a lane by themselves for a while. That's why they were making so much money. They were respected still by the black community, you know what I'm saying, for what they doing, but at the same time they were respected or liked, say, by the white community because they weren't intimidating, right? Like Jodeci didn't cross over like that. Jodeci was more of the R&B whatever culture. So my point is this: they also talked about that one little timeline where Boyz II Men was over here, but then the lane that they helped create got sucked up, like just like how Kev said, got stolen, if you will, by other boy bands, white boy bands. So now they're not making it like they was over there, and they can't go back to the R&B side because at this point R&B had moved in with hip hop and forged that R&B hip hop thing. So
and they did it on purpose. It was all by design.
So Boyz II Men had nowhere to go because they're not. They tried R&B hip hop stuff with the first album, the Motown Philly and stuff like that, but that wasn't their lane. Their lane was what their lane was when they got with Babyface and them, and they were singing the love songs and they were singing End of the Road and blah, blah, blah. That was their lane. Pop was their lane. You know what I'm saying? So they had nowhere to go because now all of the pop is now oversaturated with boy band after boy band after boy band after boy band. And they're all selling because we remember, you all know the late 90s, early 2000s, boy bands was selling
Kids on the block.
Crazy. Yeah, but that's after New Kids. New Kids was back in the 80s, like right after New Edition. But the Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, 98 Degrees, then you had all these other ones that came after them. Those were the three majors. Mostly Backstreet Boys and NSYNC, but then 90 Degrees was right there because 90 Degrees was on Motown. Mm-hmm. They were actually on Motown. You know what I'm saying? So, my point is, like what Kev was just pointing out, it just became this thing where R&B was. That's what I say. It was dying. Like people weren't. They were not pushing the R&B music like that. It was like Boyz II Men was that they were treading both sides of the fence. They still represented R&B, but they were pop. You know what I'm saying? It was the
one thing everybody got to remember too is what pop is. Pop just means popular.
Well, it means popular music, right? It means popular music, but the bottom line is they were on the reason why I'm separating it is because they were on the pop charts. They were top of the pop charts. That's different from R&B, top of the R&B charts on Billboard.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean. So they were treading forward. They were on the top of. They were the only band and only group that's ever really done that. It was on the top of the R&B and pop charts at the same time. You know what I'm saying? They surpassed Elvis Presley for the most time at the top of the Billboard pop charts, 200 or whatever. They passed him, and then they passed themselves when they put the second song out. I'll Make Love to You.
Yeah, and the other thing people got to remember too is I hate to bring the conspiracy side to it, is that when these record labels started getting in bed with these private prison companies and they started investing their money in private prison companies, this is why you had groups like Public Enemy, Talib Kweli, Mos Def. This is why Poor Righteous Teachers. This is why these kind of acts started falling by the Lauryn Hills of the bunch, started falling to the wayside, and you started getting more gangster rap. You started getting more, of
just more
other
violence
kinds of
and
hip hop,
gangster
right?
stuff like
and
that.
this
That
is
was
why they
coming in
started
there.
bringing it more, and this is why it started to flood over with features in R&B. Because remember, R&B artists used to be able to carry a whole album by themselves.
Yeah.
Now
Well, they had
nobody
to.
does
Yeah,
that.
that's why I used my. Well, of course they did.
What do you mean you don't know about that part?
That other part, the conspiracy thing with the prisons. That's
no, Ralph, that's a real thing. That's not no bullshit conspiracy. I use that word, but it's a real thing. That's a real thing.
It goes deep. The record business and industry, they think way beyond what the normal person thinks, and it does go very deep like that. They do think about, because think about this: these people hire marketing people, and they're inside people that they talk about. They're trying to figure out how do we make money off these niggers. You know what I'm saying? To be honest with you, that's pretty much what they think.
Listen to that, but that's a real conversation. Listen, that's y'all might laugh, but that's a real damn conversation. Like, how do we make money off of these monkeys? How do we make money off of them?
That's how they do it. And what they're doing is, well, we're going to people like Leor Cohen from Def Jam and all that stuff like that. They're like, oh, we're gonna this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna push this narrative. We're gonna push this type of music, because these type of it's been scientifically proven that music influences people. It can influence a person to even do something good or bad. Yep. This is scientifically proven. So with the science behind it, they figure, you know what? We're gonna push this gangster music stuff, even though the narrative out there, you got the people that's against it, the parents that was against it at the time. We're gonna take this, we're gonna push this music because it does scientifically make people, or just like I said, based on the science, people get influenced to do other things. It's just like, for instance, let's be honest, anyone in their right mind can't lie and be honest about this. If you put on a song that's a fast song, whatever, you tend to drive faster if you're driving, listening to that song. It's influencing you. I put on a song, music. Right? If I put on a song and I'm putting on a song, whatever, I'm just whatever. Hell, I could even use. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be a gangster song. I could use Michael Jackson's "Speed Demon." I'm driving. I'm headed for the border. You know what I'm saying? I'm just, I'm driving, I'm like, okay, Speed Demon. You know what I mean? Boom. I can use that and say, it's just what it is. Whatever the beat is, you feel, oh yeah, this is something I can really ride you. Next thing you know, you're driving faster, even though that's minimal what I'm using, but it's true. It's music influences.
I'll take it.
Influences the soul. It influences the heart and the soul. It does.
I'll take it a step further. When I was in college, particularly when I was in drafting school, there was a kid that was in class with me, Ryan, and he's into music just like most kids our age at the time. And we were listening to, I say kids, but we were actually adults. But Dipset came out. I could not listen to Dipset around that time period. I was I'm still angry, black man, but there were some songs that just make you more extra prone to violence. Ryan came in class one day. He was like, and I forgot which Dipset song it was, but it was off their Diplomatic Immunity album. He was like, yo, Kev, listen to this. Don't this shit make you want to go murder somebody? And he put it on, and I was like, yo, this is dangerous right here, bro. I'm like, this shit is fire, but it's dangerous.
Well, I mean, it's proven. It's scientifically proven that music influences the heart and the soul for people. People listen to music when they go. And I'm not saying now. Granted, I'm not gonna sit here and turn into the whole music. I'm not saying music is the problem. What I'm saying is unstable people is the problem. But the bottom line is when you listen to the music. It's like putting the battery in your pack. That's all it is.
Yep.
A lot of times people are like,
and this is why back in the day, music labels had the altar room.
Put the warning on there. You had to put the warning on there.
Well, not just the warning thing. I'm going a little bit deeper.
Oh, the altar room you're talking about.
This is where they had the altar room, and they used to pray, or they used to pray spiritual rights over certain records. demonic rights over certain records. Listen, this shit is real.
Yeah, dude.
This shit.
Yeah,
If you think
that's the dude that what's the dude's name? You know his name. He used to work for the industry. He was a big executive in the music industry. He came out and basically started, exposing a lot of stuff like that.
He exposed some stuff, and then there's artists who confirmed it, and not only artists that confirmed it. I got my stepdaughter. I started introducing because my stepdaughter was into skateboard music. So I was like, oh, you know what? There's some stuff you might listen to. Check this out. So I gave her whatchamacallit? Oh God, what's his face? Breaking the Law. What's his name? What the hell is his goddamn name? What's the name of his band? The gay guy that did Breaking the Law.
That did Breaking the Law. You talking about Judas Priest?
Judas Priest. I was like, listen, check out Judas Priest, and not thinking about what I was giving her. Just gave it to her. And she's like, Kevin, I can't listen to this. She was like, I woke up in the middle of the night and there was something in the room with me. I don't know what it was, but she's like, I can't listen. This stuff is spooky. There's something not right about this. I'm telling you for a fact, there are spiritual connections with music that just with the melodics of music, and like Wes said before, scientifically it's been proven that music, you can use music to actually influence what people do. This is why radio stations are able to tell you why you think we have so many artists out here. We just keep hearing the same old artists over and over again. This is why you can hear the same song 15 times in one day.
Well, there's all, not to cut you off, Kev, but I'm just saying there's all types of it, because we could this rabbit hole can go too deep. There's so many things behind this music business, even when it comes to the way they do things, even if you whether you talk about spiritually or whatever the case may be. Just like, for instance, let's take what's going on right now, and this has happened through the years. There, the gatekeepers and the powers that be, the elites in this business, once you get to start making a certain level, make a certain money, they approach you. Now, there's a lot of people in the industry that's confirmed this, but the reason why they can't go too far with it is because they're scared. You know what I'm saying? So then they get approached. And once you get approached and you decide to go that route, certain things is going to happen. You notice how some of these people become so successful out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, oh man, boom, boom, because they're pulling the strings. Now, here's the deal. Let's go recently. Let's go with what happened on with the dude, the baby. So the baby goes on and makes these whatever rants that they say,
Thank you.
Allegedly the what's it called? They were saying homophobic rants and all the stuff that he did at this concert or whatever.
Not allegedly. He did say it.
No, he said it. He said it. And the reason why I'm saying allegedly because I don't truly feel it should have been labeled homophobic by what he actually said.
Right.
That's my opinion. I don't think it should have been labeled quote unquote homophobic, regardless of the fact what he said was offensive. So we'll just go with offensive, right? And so anyway, now when people say, "Oh, cancel culture," we all know about that, right? But the cancel culture, really, what happens with these industry people is this stuff has been going on for years. It happened to Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj has had, her fan base never left her. So she wasn't canceled by her fans, but she was canceled in the industry. Why do you think Nicki Minaj has never hadn't won a Grammy? You know what I'm saying? When she hadn't won a Grammy and stuff like that. Why do you think these things? Because what happened was she crossed an elite. She went on public television on an award show and went for Miley Cyrus's neck.
Oh yeah.
Now, what people don't understand is Miley Cyrus is a made woman in this business. Don't care what she Hannah Montana, whatever. She's a made woman. Like her godfather or something like that is like the owner of one of these big labels or whatever. He made Atlantic, whatever it was, those labels are that he's made. He made those calls after that happened, and Nicki Minaj started, she basically got blacklisted in the industry. Not saying that she wasn't making money. She was still making money from her fans, blah, blah, blah. So now what's happening to Baby right now. They say, oh, the fans are saying, we're not canceling him. Okay, cool. Your fans going to be, but there's only so much. The industry's not made up like it used to be as far as making money. There's only so much money you can make off of streams. I don't care if you have 1 billion of them. You're not making the kind of money that you would make if you were performing. So now all his performances are starting to get canceled. His endorsements are dropping him. And all these things are starting to happen.
But meanwhile, he could talk about snorting coke, doing lean, and shooting another nigga in the face,
and shooting somebody in the face, and that they have him on the lineup talking about that. But the moment he says something that's offensive to homosexuals, now he's been dropped from 3 consecutive concerts, like shows he was supposed to be at. A few things, these big things that's coming up. We're coming off of a pandemic, people. No one has been performing, and that's where artists make their money, especially now.
But
because of the streaming,
I think they still had to pay him.
No, I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
I'm pretty sure if they chose, unless it's something in his contract.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Morality clause.
Because morality clause. That is a clause for them to cancel your contract.
Yep.
And that's what they did. Because every single one of them is dropping the same statement. We do not condone any hate speech, blah, 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 blah. And we are now we are dropping him from our lineup.
And this goes to show you how much power the LGBTQ community has.
Yeah.
There was nothing hateful. There was nothing hateful. Here's the thing too. There was nothing hateful about what he said. And above all of that, he said, "My fans." He pointed to he said there was a dude standing right in front of me that basically he said was gay as fuck and was sitting there cheering him on. So him and his fans, his relationship between him and his fans, just because you're on the outside looking on.
With the fans, it's all about, and that's a whole nother story in itself. You say something about a gay person, it's worse than saying something about a black person. You know what I'm saying? They try to compare it. They try to put it in the same, because Amber Rose had made a statement like that. I'm like, she needs her head examined. She kind of compared gay homosexuals to black people. The
only comparison to homosexuals and black people is the fact that because of black people fighting for civil rights, the homosexuals were able to piggyback off of that and have their human rights picked up along with that. But if we want to keep it $1.50, listen. They still don't, and even Amber Rose, what she said was still wrong, because if you're black and you're gay, it's even 10 times as worse. Because if you're white and you're gay, or you're white and you're lesbian, it's not really that much of an issue, nowadays.
Right.
But
like what you're saying to compliment that is, what she said was just stupid, in my opinion, because I don't even want to go there with that, because that's another rabbit hole that we could be here for another hour, and we're about to end the show. But the thing is, the point of bringing this up is he kept saying he was resistant. He's like, I didn't do nothing wrong. I didn't apologize. I apologize to anyone who may be like in the HIV community, blah, blah, blah. I do apologize to that, but I ain't apologize to nobody else because I didn't say nothing wrong. So he kept going. He kept going with it. He kept posting things, dancing, acting like he's unaffected by all these people canceling him, all of these shows. Now you're messing with the bag. People starting to cancel these shows. And what happens? Courtesy of Spill the Sugar and my brother, actually his thing, put it up there. That's the first time I saw it. Got him. He done issued an apology. The apology has been issued. So, oh yeah, that money has been messed with now. That bag has been messed with. So now the apology. Now, what the reason why I brought this up, Ralph, is somewhere along the lines, this is not, it doesn't stop here. Somewhere along the lines, he's good. They have rituals that they do. They call them embarrassment rituals, humiliation rituals. They all go through it. It's gonna happen. They had it. They did it. You know what Eminem's was? Remember at the MTV Awards when Sacha Baron Cohen was yeah. I'm telling you. You think that was by accident? And he comes flying down, and they got him on the wire, and they acting like the wire is malfunctioning, and he got his nuts basically in Eminem's mouth.
Yeah.
That was his ass right off the stage. And you know what that was? That was Eminem's punishment for the homophobic slurs that he always put in his music. And remember, he ended up doing a whole performance in a song with Elton John. Hugged them and everything at the end of the performance. He didn't look happy about it either. But the bottom line is, trust me, bro, that's a whole nother story.
And this is why I said what I said.
The elites in the music business, this music business is dirty.
They are gay. They're dirty.
Oh, I know it's run by, the industry is run by homosexuals. Yeah. So and they know that. Yeah. Oh yeah, and they know that. So certain things as said, they're going to cut you off at the, whatever, you know what I mean? Where they're like, okay, cut your air supply off, even though you still have your fans. But what can the fans do other than, there's two things that fans can do to help you gain money: stream your music and come to your concerts. But if there's no concerts to come to, how you making money? Yeah. Streaming music, you make pennies per stream. You know what I'm saying? So it's people are too hung up on those numbers. A billion streams. Yeah, they stood there. 10 million streams. Yeah, that sounds awesome. Because if it was 10 million record sales, it would be whatever. Yeah, it's 10 million pennies. Yeah, so yeah, they're making some money off the streams, but their money comes from the labels that are giving them the money up front, gassing them up. You heard what Jay-Z said. Y'all still taking advances, huh? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Me and my boys taking real chances. So that's one way they get money. The other way is through shows. And then now the 360 deals are even cutting into that money. Before, the labels didn't have any part of money that you made doing shows. Well, now they got these 360 deals where they get a piece of everything now.
They get shows, they get shows, they get any endorsements,
T-shirts,
merch. They get everything, and that's only because the industry has changed. So from a business standpoint, that's what they do. But anyway, neither here nor there. I don't want to go too much over a tangent, but yeah, man, this whole situation gets real deep. But next week, man, we'll talk about the Suicide Squad and we will get AJ back. He's like, I want to see. We're gonna talk about Suicide Squad, but like I said, in the upcoming weeks, I did make contact with Diane Franklin, and she's gonna contact Lawrence what's his name? Lawrence Monason, the guy who played Gary.
She owes him an apology, a big apology.
Yeah, so
I'm sorry.
We're gonna try to get them both on the show because we're setting up a show for the 30th and like what Kev was talking about with our good night, Joseph. What our what's it called? Our flashback
movie rewind.
Yeah, the movie rewind. That could be our movie rewind for the month. We can go back and watch the Last American Virgin, what's it called? Review it, whatever. But we're gonna get Diane Franklin back on. Hopefully, I'm working behind the scenes now to get Lawrence Monason on.
But you got to get the other guy on too. The guy that she left him for.
Gotta play Rick.
Yeah, you gotta get him too.
I'm gonna get at him too, but really, it's really about Gary and Karen with a K. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty much about. It's like, look, Gary's revenge. We should do? We should get Lawrence Monason or whatever his name is on, and then try to get some other cats on. And say, look, we're gonna set you up on a date.
Blind date.
We're gonna set you up on a blind date with another 80s babe.
Yo, you know what you do? You do that right. But how you do with me and Kev, you just keep the audio, but like that blind thing, like you just see him and he just hears their voices, but you don't actually
hear their voices. Yeah,
you don't put
like
the
blind
video
date.
feed on.
You don't put the
And
video
then when he
on.
says, I want like girl number 3, and then you put the picture on who she is, like, oh,
yeah, that'd be cool. It was like, yeah, we're gonna do that, and because we need Gary. Gary needs closure.
He needs Molly Ringwald.
Gary
he needs Molly Ringwald.
We need to rewrite the ending of The Last American Virgin. We got to get Gary with a girl. He's got to go off in the sunset with a girl.
You cannot rewrite the ending of that movie. The ending, if you wrote the end of that movie, the rewrite for the end of that movie, somebody's gonna die. It's white America. Yeah. Nobody lives behind that. What she did,
someone. Crystal Hill says, which Gary? We're talking about Lawrence Monason on the movie, the Last American Virgin.
The Last American Virgin.
His character's name was Gary, and Gary. If you've never seen that film, Crystal, if you've never seen that film, find it, check it out. It is a classic film from the 80s. And the ending, I won't spoil for you, but trust me, the ending is tragic.
Is it really a spoiler? It's like 40 plus years old.
Yeah, it's not a spoiler. I'm just saying if she's never seen it, I don't know. But it's a spoiler. It's spoiler if you've never seen it. But the bottom line is,
y'all spoil it for me all the damn time.
I never knew that you never saw it. But anyway,
I've never seen it. I don't understand. Wait a minute, I don't understand.
Because that movie is. She's coming on as a guest, so I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. She might be listening. I just didn't care for it.
Wait. I don't understand.
How do you care for it if you never saw it?
Because it wasn't something that I was interested in. There's a lot of 80s movies that I just was not interested in.
How would you know you weren't interested? At least if I could see you say, "Well, I saw 15 minutes of it and it just bored the hell out of me."
Because that's why they have trailers.
Oh my god! You know what, man? I'm gonna tell you this.
She said, "I haven't seen the film. I haven't seen it. I'm literally an 80s baby." Okay,
cool. Find it. But I'm gonna tell
you can find it. It's a cool movie. It's one of those, since you're an 80s baby, it came out in that era of like Porky's and those. It's one of those type of risky. It's one of those type of films. The white teenage. Whatever.
And that was one of the reasons why. That was one of the other reasons why I wasn't into that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
As I got older,
that wasn't your taste. Yeah,
it wasn't my taste. And also, as I got older, I understood that relationships were more complex than that, and it wasn't just about what they were showing us on screen. So,
regardless of that, though,
when the movie came out, you were probably about 11 years old. No way were you that socially conscious about.
Oh, actually, brother, I was very much into.
Whether you was or not, it don't apply to this movie. The bottom line is, when you watch the movie, it's cut and dry. Boy meets girl. Boy falls in love with girl. He has crush on the girl. She's the new girl in school. Yeah, right. The new girl. He's stupid. New girl in school. So everybody's trying to get at her. You got your boys. It's him and his two boys, and they're teenage boys trying to get laid all the time. You know what I'm saying? That's all they do. So you got the new girl in school. So now it's about who's gonna get her first, whatever. He actually met her first, and kind of which once. We'll talk about when we break this down. I'm going to talk about it, a little something that my man and Larry knows about this. Bruce knows about it. A little something we call skip time. when you boys and you meet a girl at the same time, you going after the same girl. There's a little bit thing we call skip time. Okay, that's a respect factor between dudes, but that's a whole other story. I'll explain. But anyway, long story short, he has the crush on her. She gets with the dude. She gets with his boy. He doesn't realize that his boy done scooped in because he's a timid dude. Now, granted, I said before, Ralph is the one that said it's such a tragic ending. I said. The ending was bad, but at the same time, I didn't really feel sorry for him because he never really moved in like he was supposed to. He met her. He didn't push up. Man. He did not push up on her. So then what happened is she ends up with the dude, his boy, who's like the boy who hits all the girls. This dude is classically the guy who misses all the girls. That's why it's called The Last American Virgin, right? And then his boy is the one who hits all the girls. You know what I'm saying? And he gets as normal, he scoops the new girl and is with her. And dude is basically freaking lovesick over her the whole movie. Then something happens where they break up. I won't spoil that for the people who didn't see it. So she breaks up with the Playboy dude, the player, and Gary swoops in and helps her, and in a very
God, it gets even worse. He becomes Captain Save-A-Ho. Jesus, it gets worse. Gets even worse.
So he becomes Captain Save-A-Ho, and he swoops in, saves her, and all of a sudden, they have a moment. Right? Where it's a moment. She kisses him, whatever the case may be, or he kisses her, whatever the case may be. She lets him kiss her.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
That's what we'll go with. She allowed him to kiss her, and finally, and it's like great soundtrack, by the way. You had Air Supply, Open Arms, and all going on.
I know what love is as I'm driving off with my tears in my eyes.
No, it did.
Mad at the radio.
He's stupid. It did. It was a great soundtrack. So anyway, he then assumes that they are now a couple after he did this task that helped her because the other dude dumped her when she was in dire need. He dumps her. Gary helps her. They have a moment. And now he thinks they're together. So he goes out and buys this little gift for her, comes back to the party. A party, she's having her birthday party. All of them from the school is what's up? No nonsense. Thanks for joining us. Everyone at the school is invited. He gets to the party with his gift for her. And what does he see? She's back with the player.
Like this. He's like,
and he drives away crying with just once. No one love it. It's just once.
Oh,
I did
just
my
once.
Best, but my best wasn't good enough.
The
loser anthem is playing.
The James Ingram playing.
The loser anthem is playing as he's driving away. Just once. And I'm just like, wow.
Damn,
and that's the end of the movie. And I'm saying, that's why shout out to Diane Franklin. I love her. She's such a friend of the show. We were giving her shit when she came on the show the first time. And she's good at it though. She took it, man. She ate that. And we was like, yeah, because she knows that character that was wrong. And she said in her book when we was talking about her book that she had out, she even said in the book that she got a rude awakening of how
she got hate mail.
She said she talked to the writer about changing the ending and or went to the director or something, or one of the producers, and basically got shut down. She's like, I realized that writers
actors act.
Yeah, she said. She was like, I realized the hard way. Writers should write and actors should act. So that was well, at least you tried.
It ain't the first one when you see that. I mean, certainly, you could probably say 16 Candles. With him, definitely saying almost fire. You see that like when the guy went out. Emilio Estevez.
That was the culture of that back then. Yeah.
Yeah, but at least Emilio got his last shot in before he left. He was like, you know what? Hold on.
But I mean, he said it was St. Elmo's Fire. 16 Candles a little bit, but 16 Candles had somewhat of a better ending, though.
Yeah.
Happier ending, whatever you want to call it. But the bottom line is, Yeah, let's go back and watch it, review it. I'm trying to get the show set up before the month is out. So because I believe it was this
for me.
You could watch it.
I want a having to watch
You
this.
could watch it.
Yeah, watch it.
It's
man.
like the same way you believe there's really a guy flying around in an iron suit shooting beams out of his hand.
Totally different. Totally different.
No, it was the. I
take it back.
Even though you're not into that stuff, I don't think you'll hate the movie. That's what I'm saying.
Kev, you know what? I take that back
because it has some fun. It has some genuinely funny parts in the movie. Just because number one, like I said, I grew up watching these type of movies because I don't know because I watched HBO. These movies were like heavy rotation on HBO and stuff like that. These movies were heavy rotation
over by us.
Yeah, they were heavy rotation, and I watched a lot of those movies coming up. I watched a lot of movies that had, the white culture, the white teenage culture. Yeah, and
Porky's
says, "What's up,
telling you,
Kevin?
Ain't no nonsense. What's going on?
Yeah,
I know you seen. I know you seen Last American Virgin, right? Right? I know, no nonsense. I know you saw Last American Virgin.
Hey, there's a lot of movies that like I said, it falls into that movie of what was the movie with oh my God, why can't I think of it? The one with Sean Penn and all of them in it. What was that movie? It falls
Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Like it falls.
Now that's a classic.
Right, of course, it's a classic. But these type of movies they fall in that same genre. The teenage high school
losing it.
Porky's losing. The Revenge of the Nerds. All of that stuff kind of falls under the same umbrella. You know what I mean? And this
Better
was just
Off
one
Dead.
of those. Better Off Dead. Exactly.
That was just funny too.
This is just one of those films where and it became that cult thing because it flew under the radar at first, you know what I mean? But people just went back and started. It's truly a cult film because there's a whole community. I guarantee you when we do this, when we bring her back on the show, that whole damn community is gonna be in our chat room.
Yep.
There's like a whole community of people that follow that. That's groups that I've seen. There's groups that I'm in that had 10, 15, 20,000 strong that's just dedicated to that movie. That's the name of the group, The Last American Virgin Film or something like that. Yeah, they love it. So a lot of it is because of Diane Franklin. A lot of it just because of the movie. Period. It was
because it's real life.
Movie.
That's why I'm about to say, Kev, you're absolutely right. It is a completely different thing. Iron Man or anything is kind of like made up, but Last American Virgin really is reality. There's a whole lot of dudes and probably somebody that put themselves out there for some chick and thought, oh, she's the one for me. She's gonna finally see how I'm great for her life, and then bam, you ain't nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't nothing. this jerk off that I got that's a piece of crap that I know treating me like crap. I know what you're like. He's the man. You, the guy that's really going to take care of me and be there for me when I need you, you're nothing.
Yeah. So No Nonsense says she haven't seen that movie. She's gonna have to check it out. It's a good movie. Well, what we're doing, No Nonsense. What we're doing is now we're rewinding and reviewing films of the past. So we, every month or so we'll pick one film to do a movie rewind review. So
and for certain films, we're giving you a 2-piece chicken box set for when it's a waste of your time, like this one.
It is not.
So it's not a waste of time because it's part of your research for our guest. That's coming
and not for nothing. How you gonna sit and say it's a waste of time when you're the one that came up with the idea?
But what did I say? But what did I say when I made up the idea? When I said I can't believe I'm saying this, but maybe this should be the first movie that we do for our movie rewind. I still regret saying that.
It's a perfect thing to do.
Shouldn't have said it.
It's a perfect one to do because we can actually bring on people from the movie. And we can really go talk about it, but I think, I'm gonna pitch that idea to Diane. I'm gonna get in touch with Lawrence. I think that'd be a cool idea, just in fun, in character. Gary, we're gonna get 3 contestants that Gary can go on a date with, Gary's
love match.
We're gonna do it like that, man. We're gonna have 3 contestants that will purposely not have them on screen. We'll have just their avatar up there, not even their picture, just a question mark, like a blank screen, and all he's gonna be able to do is hear their voices. That would be awesome if we can get 3 other 80s babes.
I was gonna say get Alex, but if you want to get 3 80s,
no, what you do is get 3 fans. Get 3 fans to play.
3 fans. Yeah, perfect. 3 fans to do that. Like, look, now Gary, who wants to go on a date with Gary? And Gary's gonna have questions that he's gonna ask each one of them. It's got to be questions pertaining to the movie. So it's gonna be like, now, if I was to do this for you, how would you react? Or,
what would it be like if we went on a date together?
Bachelorette number 3, if I was to, if we kissed and then, I went to buy you this necklace, would you consider us still, an item or something like that? It's going to be something that's pertaining to the movie, where things that he did. We want to find out, where did Gary go wrong?
Yeah, what did he do?
Where did Gary go wrong?
Now I really got to go find it. I went looking last night on Netflix.
I have a DVD.
I don't have a copy of it.
I have a copy of it. I have it on. I have it on digital too. That movie, like I said, we got to figure out, where did Gary go wrong? Because he had first dibs, to be honest with you, because he picked her up from when she was on her way to school. Her bike was broke or whatever, flat, and he stopped and helped her and gave her a ride to school. He had first dibs, and throughout the whole movie, you'll understand. You'll really know why the answer's there. Why where he went wrong? Because every time every time Gary was faced with some, he would go and grab Rick and his boys, and Rick would be the one who gets the ass, and Gary wouldn't. Like every time,
hey, I won the lotto. You get to take my ticket.
You get to take my ticket. Yo, Gary was a pizza delivery boy. He used to deliver to a woman that was, like an older woman, and she was all over him, and she wanted him to come in, and she was gonna give him some. What did he do?
Where do you think the idea for Loverboy came from? The idea for Loverboy comes from that.
Comes from that. He went in. What did he do instead of? He went into the house for a moment. She did everything but pull him, throw him down and rape him. And he left. What did he do when he came back? He brought back Rick and his other boy. Yo, man, I'm telling you, this woman is hot. She's hot for it. She wants it. Why are you bringing them?
Yeah.
And what does Rick do? Like a player does. Rick went in and did what he did. And what happens? He doesn't get the chance. We won't ruin it, but Gary ends up coming up short again. He gets nothing out of it, and Rick gets something out of it. Everyone in the crews back in the day, especially when they had bigger crews, little crew of boys, you all had, like, from this standpoint, these guys represented certain people in the crews, right? Everybody has that one dude who was like the player in the crew that, pretty much was always the one who was aggressive to talk to the girls, go up, push up on the girls, the blah, blah, blah. Your style may not have been that way. I was more of a in the cut type of dude. I was more of a laid back dude. I wasn't the aggressive one out of my, friends from back in the day, but we all had one or knew one, whether they was our friends or just someone that they knew that always, boom, boom. He's that dude that's going to be the aggressive one because that's who he did. And a lot of times the aggressive ones, to be honest with you, were the ones that were getting it, you know what I'm saying? Because they were being aggressive, so, but yeah, it's the last American.
That's why he's not around me no more.
Because of the way the world works now, The Last American Virgin or any of those movies from the 80s would never do well now because they would be canceled and everything else. The cancel culture would be going crazy. Like they would be going
Porky's,
crazy.
please
Forget about it. Porky's would be
risky business.
Canceled under the
Losing
damn
it.
jail. Yeah.
No, you don't. No, don't sit there and say that. No, you like the late. No,
she said older women. She said no. Women like the laid back dude. I get you. No, I'm not saying that they don't. Yes, they do. They do. But I'm just saying, especially in that culture back then, in the teenage culture, especially I guess for
you want the job.
Even back then.
Mouth,
I'm gonna tell you why. Even back then, what she's saying is absolutely right. Because even back then,
right. I didn't say she was wrong. She's definitely right. But I'm just saying that the aggressive ones, they got it too. You know what I'm saying? And
but most times, to be honest with you, most times the aggressive ones was lying about what they was doing. They was lying on their dicks.
That's true.
Well, some of them,
yes, some of them were true players, but some of them was lying on their junk. But for the most part, the laid back ones are the ones that got played, because the laid back ones, the girl in their minds most times was like, well, why he ain't in my face? What's going on with him? Why he so quiet? Why he sitting over there in the corner?
You don't like me?
You don't like me? You don't like me?
You don't like me? Yeah, why you don't like me? Why don't you like me? Yeah, exactly. No, exactly. No, I know that's more of a reverse psychology thing to me. But yeah, but anyway, Rick was that dude that was like, yo, especially back then, you know, and in that culture. When I say that culture, is like, remember, this takes place in, you know, white, you know, teenage culture. So it was different. Theirs was different. You know what I'm saying? They were more attracted to the boy that was more popular. You know what I'm saying? They were attracted to those guys, the ones that were the aggressive ones, or the ones that was, even if they were known to be a bad boy, a player, whatever, those are the ones that they were attracted to a lot of times. And we all know every good girl loves a bad boy. You know what I'm saying? It's just
they even made a song about it. The beginning song says, why do the good girls love bad boys?
Yeah, no, it's cool. And all right, she said, hey, my husband's laid back dude. Yeah, can't stand a loud talking man. Good. That's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah, so she said, I guess I'm different. No, you're not different. There's a lot of people like you. And you're unique.
Just evolved.
But there's a lot of people that are.
No, you're smart.
Or just like how you
call
are.
It what it is.
Yeah, right. You're smart. You know, there's a lot of people like that. But yeah, check out the film. We're gonna check it out because we're gonna review it. I'm gonna get Diane Franklin back on here so we can have some laughs with her and torture her some more. Like, yeah, you did Gary dirty, man. You did Gary dirty. So we gotta get Gary on here, and we're gonna do a fans. We're gonna do like a mock love connection show. This would be great.
You gotta watch when you do it. You gotta come out in a tuxedo, like, "Hey, welcome to us."
Hey,
just keep pouring on the cheese.
Hey, Chuck Woolery.
Oh, damn, you were Chuck Woolery.
Jesus.
Chuck Woolery, R.I.P. But
what's the guy they used to do? The guy that which one? Yeah, the dating game. The guy said, I forget his name, but he used to say, "When was the first time you and your wife you made whoopee or some shit like that?" I forget his name.
Whoopee. Yeah, I forgot.
That's back in the 70s. Yeah. I remember that guy.
Yeah, made whoopee, and they used to do that on the newlywed game too.
The newlywed game.
The newlywed game. We talk about.
Those games
fun. I used to want to go on that game. I mean, obviously back in the day, I wasn't even married, but I mean, I think about that now. If they brought that game back, I know, you know, it's
that
funny
would be
because
the most ratchet shit ever. Oh my God!
They be asking, "What's your wife's favorite so and so?" And they like hold up the thing, and the wife be like, they be mad as hell. They be hitting their husbands like, "You don't know that's my favorite color."
No, that's like when I be seeing YouTube, and they do they have the thing for Family Feud when they ask the question, and the guy said something. He said, "Yo, you just got divorced right now. How you going?" He asked that question. Ain't that your wife sitting right there? What's the worst part of her body? You gonna say her mouth? She's sitting right there, man.
Listen, like I said, that shit would be total.
It'd be the most ratchetest thing in the world. But I think it'd be funny though. So we're gonna try to set that up. But if at the very least we're gonna get Lawrence on here, get on it, and I'm like, look, Gary, we need you one more time to channel Gary. Gary, you must confront Karen with a K and tell her how you feel when you drove away crying.
Just once. And you gotta have it playing in the background. Just once.
When you drove away crying, you gotta give her a piece of your mind. the cheese, right? The cheese.
And see, and for that part, when you're saying that part, you gotta go to like the split screen where you actually got Jason going, just once. When I looked, you got
oh God. Yo, it's gonna be so much.
It's gonna be
the Kraft macaroni and cheese.
Right, everyone bring your wine because it's gonna be a lot of cheese.
Yeah.
You're gonna need your bottle of wine because it's gonna be a lot of cheese.
And your tissues. Bring your tissues.
Yeah, it's gonna be funny though. I can't wait to
Uncle
do that.
Cheese. All I know is cheddar, Monterey Jack,
Swiss cheese, provolone cheese, cheddar cheese.
But I'm Chester cheese. That's all I know is cheese.
I'm Chester cheese. All I know is cheese.
All I know is cheese. Yeah, all right, so that's cool. Thanks again. No nonsense. Thank you for showing up, man. We appreciate you. Thanks to everyone else that was in the chat room. Joseph, I think Joseph tapped out. We're tapping out too. And Crystal Hill, who came through. Thank you. A couple other guests we saw there. Thank our guest AJ Perez came on. He's a friend of the show. He's not really a guest anymore. And but you know, our special guest. And yeah, so we'll get at y'all, let y'all know when this next show is gonna be about that we're talking about. We need to set that up. I want to set it up nice.
We need to set Gary up. I'm thinking,
like I said, yeah, that's what we're doing. That's what we're gonna do today.
I mean, if we're gonna set, we need to reach out to at least 3 80s actors. I'm gonna say Ali Sheedy, Mia Sarah from Ferris Bueller, and
Mia Sarah, Ali Sheedy.
Who would be the
Wally
girl?
Ringwald?
No. The girl from Porky's, the one that he was obsessed over her. Either her or Betty from Revenge of the Nerds. One of those two. One of those two.
That would be funny. That would be great. I'm gonna have to make a lot of calls to try to make this happen, but it would be an awesome show, and it would be full of the 80s cheese, right? A lot of cheese and a lot of nerds.
Jamie Gertz.
Nerds bring cheese.
Jamie Gertz.
Jamie Gertz. Yeah, that would be funny too. Get Jamie Gertz in there, man. I loved her in The Lost Boys.
I know, man. Less than zero.
Star. What's your name? Where you going, Star? I remember you saying that. That was Kiefer Sutherland. That's the name of it. There was a meme. I'm gonna close with this. There was a meme going online that was saying, if you were to have someone narrate your life other than Morgan Freeman, they said, who would you pick? I said Kiefer Sutherland because he's got that voice.
That's a good pick.
That's a good pick. I said Kiefer Sutherland's voice is off the chain. He's got a great said that's who I would go with. I mean, it's others, you know. Somebody said Samuel Jackson.
James.
I would go with Snoop.
No. Snoop Dogg.
Yeah. I would have Snoop Dogg narrate. I would have him narrate my life.
We're closing with this since we talked about our we talked about this topic. So here's some of the memes. The internet is undefeated, and the internet is going crazy with this whole Scarlett Johansson suing Disney. Here is Disney's The Sue Squad instead of Suicide Squad. You got Emma Stone, Scarlett Johansson, and Gerard Butler. I don't know what Gerard Butler did.
Wow.
I know. I didn't get that one either. I didn't get that one.
Tried to sue Disney too. Then
but what's he
okay.
done for Disney? Unless it was that crappy Meteor movie that came out. Greenland.
Look at this meme here. You got a vibranium suit with Black Panther, iron suit with Iron Man, stealth suit with Spider-Man, and lawsuit with Black Widow. The memes just keep coming. This one here is hilarious. It is obviously this is from Spider-Man. This is from one of the Spider-Man movies. Because remember, he says here, when he was, I think that was when Jameson gave him some money and he was like, hey, the ad said whatever.
That's the wrestling match. But why?
Oh yeah, this was the wrestling match. Yeah, that's what it was. The wrestling match. The ad said 3,000. So $100. The ad said 3,000. Then you have the face here with Disney with Mickey Mouse. I missed the part where that's my problem. Talk about contracts. Then we have the great meme here of Iron Man from Captain America. I mean, this was from Captain America Civil War. Where Iron Man, Captain America, and the Winter Soldier all squaring off. They got Captain America labeled as Emma Stone, Scarlett Johansson labeled for the Winter Soldier, and Iron Man in the middle is Disney. They're both jumping on them. It's hilarious. Oh, my favorite one from the Avengers movie. They put Mickey Mouse head on Hawkeye, and she says, "It's just like what I say it's just like what it said in my contract all over again." And he replies, "You and I remember your contract very differently." I think that's awesome, man. It's just like we remember Budapest very differently. And then here's we ended with this one. The little smirk on Scarlett's face saying, "See you in court." I thought there was another one in there, the one with the Hulk. Nah, I don't see it no more. Man. I thought I had that one with the one with the Hulk. Where she's like, "Hey, big guy, the sun is going down real soon," or something like that. But he says something else though. She says something else to him about lawsuit and stuff. Anyway, we're done. Thank you, everybody. Y'all peace. Have a good night. Come back next week. Like, subscribe, share with your friends. Peace, people.